I knew that. I'm the greatest. I'm way too connected, I can't never stop. I'm way too protected, I can't never fly. And not a spirit in me, I can't wait to pop. They hate on me, but bump my music, is it hate or not? When I'm in the building, they feel it on sight. They can't help but see me cause I am the light. I don't need the recognition, I'm just sick of repetition. I learned about manifesting, then became the definition. I'm the man, yeah, I'm Peter Pan. They don't understand, I had to take a stand. I got a second chance, this been in the plan. Now it's in my hands, time to get them bands. I'ma change the planet with no effort. I'ma take it to another level. I made some mistakes, I should be dead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Stupid Podcast, number 3. Today we have a very special guest, one of my best friends, funniest people I know in the world, Michael Cantz.
Emphasis on special. Very special.
Yeah, so we got Mike, and then to my right we have, for second time, Goran Z, a.k.a. Foreign Guy.
Our favorite domestic terrorist.
Hello, how are you?
I'm convinced you're like one of my best friends. You've never given me a single signal that you are that, but I'm still convinced there's some like agency code deeply embedded in your brain.
Oh yeah,
at
no,
some
there's,
point,
there's a bunch of blankets like
somebody's gonna ring like a triangle and you're just gonna blow up a building. And I love you.
Yeah, no, I'm at this point. I'm surprised you haven't heard the ticking in my closet.
I have, but I support you.
All right.
You're a real friend.
I'm a real friend.
So, yeah, it's been a while. Haven't seen Mike in a while. He's been doing
Killing it, yeah.
Living life.
Yeah, corporate accounting and things of that
Forms
nature.
and documents
Yes.
and
very,
files.
very official.
Counting on the car getting to a place while the gas light's on. You know,
Yeah.
Walmart parking lots.
Mike's sober after what, a 4-month stint of?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't really do the whole time thing when I'm drinking.
It's just a construct,
Yeah.
man.
Just a construct. It's
Holding us
more,
back.
instead of time, it's just amounts of money and liquor, really. It's just kind of how I measure everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely hire me. No, I don't care. You know that.
Yeah, no, Mike's a
I'd rather be open about it, man. Chance to laugh, chance to help people. You know what I mean? There's, you've been my best friend for solid like 15 years or something like that at this point. The stories are amazing.
yeah, it's been pretty
they're
crazy.
plentiful too.
Oh, plentiful.
They're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've run out on like telling you one of them.
Goran's going in and out a little bit.
Told you.
Yes.
Told you.
But yeah, no, things are pretty interesting. So anyways, bringing up first thing that get things started. So Geico has been ordered to pay a woman $5.2 million because she caught an STD during sex in a car.
The most shocking thing I heard in that statement was a woman was getting paid. What?
No, but
That's a
Not,
thing
not
now?
over 70% though, right?
yes, because
How does that happen though? The STD is clearly like from external.
This is like
PP.
this is like a burglar like breaks into your house, falls down the stairs,
Yeah.
breaks his leg, and then sues the homeowner.
What
That's it.
judge? What is this? This judge should be fired immediately.
I'd have got him 10.
Yeah, if I was the judge there, I would immediately, as soon as they walked in, I would have been like, "Wait, what? What does this have to do with Geico?"
I mean,
fuck
unless
that- fuck that
unless
lizard.
there's some clause in like the insurance document saying like we automatically insure any infected PPs that enter the back seat.
I'm sure there's a clause somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's
No,
plausible.
you can't. There's absolutely no way.
It's definitely in there and right.
Mike knows.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I worked in insurance for a solid 2 weeks, so I'm pretty.
He knows.
I'm your guy. Yeah, need anything.
But how does that? How, like, if that's true, like, I got an STD too from doing it in the car. Geico, where's my money? Like, if this holds up, if this doesn't get appealed, then everyone's just gonna sue. I was watching.
Oh, Geico's fucked if that happened. Oh man, they're digging their own grave. If they.
I've purposely gotten the same STD multiple times, and I didn't even know money was on the table. I just had fun.
I was watching
Right,
this
yeah,
YouTube
that's not fair.
video.
Yeah.
I want to get STDs for money.
Yeah.
Gotta open a
doing it this whole time, not getting any money.
Yeah, we're
what the
getting all
fuck?
these STDs for free.
That's where it went
I
wrong.
want my back.
You got to bring down the matriarchy.
Yeah. That's the absolute most insane thing I've
That's
ever heard.
absurd. That's I don't
That's
know.
amazing. That's America right there.
That is America.
Yes.
That's like the old woman hot coffee, but
I was gonna
worse.
say, yeah, no, it's very similar to like those type of suits and
Right.
stuff like that.
Mc-
Well,
McDonald's.
apparently though, in that case,
I ate all this McDonald's.
apparently
Now I'm
the
fat.
coffee was legitimately like way past
Yeah,
two,
they do-
she
they
got
do
third
do
degree
that.
burned. Like
They do that where they make it and then they leave it sit on this burner like all day.
yeah,
And it's just like they don't ever replace it and they don't like fix it or anything. So like when they give it to people, it's just like it's like a cup of lava.
right. Which makes me like surprised because like I know enough people who actually like cafe coffee. Do you hear any of that?
No, I
Is
heard all of it. You're good.
Yeah.
What?
No,
Yeah.
there's some people out there.
You Serbian.
Speak with
I mean,
gusto.
Yeah,
Gordon.
sometimes you just.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. I try my best. to
But yeah, that
assimilate.
was the
Want
thing.
to buy a watch?
That was the thing Holland wanted to tell you guys because how America
Yeah,
is
that's-
breaking down to the point where it's just like I had sex in car insurance.
Idiocracy. Like it's like another notch in that theory.
I had sex with my car insurance, and now my back seat is an STD.
It's absolutely insane. It's like
America.
if I decided to jerk off and use
Yeah.
like super glue, and then I'm like, hey, you owe me money, my hands.
I jerked off at that
Or if
playground,
you-
and then that kid punched my dick.
I'm gonna sue this slide.
I'm
company.
suing this company. You had no little kid dick punch warnings.
I didn't see a single
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
There's no sign or anything.
No sign or nothing.
I saw a playground and it made me a pedophile.
It made me a pedophile, so give me money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is off to a swimming start.
It's so
Took
true.
all of
though.
what 4 minutes to get into that.
How can you blame?
So abortion.
So abortion,
That
you
was a
see.
Louis C.K. thing.
What?
Oh, nothing else. I was adjusting.
Adjusting?
Why
You
is
just
it?
speak with gusto, man. You
I'm
gotta,
speaking the same volume as last episode.
You just it's
Yeah, you gotta
dude, everyone's
Gotta amp it up, buddy.
add a little oomph in there.
Watch it, you're on your
Peter.
last leg.
You're the only one having a problem.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I'm looking at it, Pilgrim.
Yeah, window shade.
I'm
is a
John
little
Wayne.
messed up.
Yeah.
Fucking blind is off.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was that's definitely like a throwback though. Like you're saying, a lot of them like old retarded suits or whatever. That are,
What other things are like that? I remember the McDonald's
I put
coffee.
this
old lady.
belt on a doorknob and put it around my neck, and I hung myself.
Yeah, there's-
And I didn't come, so
I didn't even fucking
Right.
come.
Let's do a little research. I'm sure we can find like ridiculous headlines.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
yeah. No, there's definitely many times where things like this have happened. It's funny. I was thinking about it on the way, and I had many examples, and literally I can't remember any. But I definitely remember the. Who you messing with? You messing with me?
I'm making you loud. I'm making everyone.
I was fine. It was Goran's mic, which
I'm
was
making everyone
dipping out.
louder.
Making great.
How do you spell
Yeah.
suits when you're talking about people suing each other?
SUI.
SOOT.
Right, no, that's what I put. It didn't come up.
H
A
4
SSSSPPPP.
purple.
and then purple one.
Bunch of other letters.
I'm done.
There's
The end.
SUITE.
BA
okay.
dash
Yes.
BALL.
But yeah, what other things could we? What
Always
should we sue? What should we sue? Random thing for? Just trying to think. What other? Things?
I'm gonna sue my dad's nutsack for giving me toxic masculinity. Your fault.
It's
I
your
never
fault.
wanted to be this person. Dad, I've had to deal with this trauma my whole life.
Never hated
So, for people who don't know, Cantz has a lot of amazing characters on his
Oh.
Instagram, and a lot of our inside jokes are based off those videos. So
It was-
if
it
you-
was-
if you see us like randomly devolve into
Your
that
homework
kind
is-
of stuff,
Yeah, your homework as a fan is to watch all Mike's videos, and then you'll be able to know what our dumb little things are half the time.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
It will definitely add weight to this situation.
Yeah,
Or you'll just be really upset.
yeah.
Be like,
If
this
you're
isn't
easy-
for me.
Yeah, if you're easily offended, then you'll be very upset. You'll probably
then
want to call
definitely watch it. And
I
film
don't
your
really know
response.
why you would be on this though,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something about playground dick punches and lawsuits, and took all 5 minutes. So you'll be great.
Playground dick punch.
Playground dick punch.
That'll be one of the buttons soon.
Little Timmy wins this round.
All right, number 1 on this list is man sues Budweiser for failing to help him attract beautiful women.
That's a good one.
I actually,
I think that's
I
pretty
support
legitimate.
that one
Yeah.
a lot.
I would sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, how-
Younger
how-
me would have been right in that
Yeah.
lawsuit. Why know she like me?
I did what you said. I drank the case.
Dude, for my old
Woke up in the neighbor's yard by myself with a finger in my ass.
all this seems to do is track the cops,
Yeah.
bro.
Cops like me a lot.
What?
The cops see
Mike,
They
this-
can't get enough of me.
Like, this seems like something.
You know what I'll do? I'll call a bunch of fags.
Yeah. Yeah.
some
I like that.
Oh man, yeah.
Get weird.
That'll get the point across.
Like,
Police, yeah, no. Mike has a police report in which
Yes.
they
oh, right.
I didn't even
right,
know it
right,
happened for like 2 months. I thought it was like something else entirely. So the whole thing, you know you're an alcoholic when you get a police report that you just have 0% of it I have a recollection of, and I literally thought it was completely different charges in a completely different department in my life. And then one day I just get this piece of mail, and I'm like, oh no,
What?
What?
oh.
What did it say? What is it? I'm trying to remember from what it said.
And then I did the whole like blackout mic, like, I'm all 90 pounds of me. And I'm Superman. There's like 3 cops, probably in like their late 20s and like great shape. And I'm like, I paid for this hotel room. I'm gonna plow through 'em.
What did it say? It said Mike was being belligerent
Yeah.
and calling some of the guests coming in.
And they didn't want to prosecute me either. That's the most pathetic part. They gave me like 7 warnings. They were like, sir, just grab your stuff, man. Get an Uber.
Like,
And I was like, nah, I got a better idea, asshole. I paid for this shit. Idiot.
You're not gonna show
You're
me
not gonna show me. I'll go back in my room and smoke.
this weed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
All the above, probably at the time.
Mike, just
And apparently it was a whole system, too. It was like the management came to me the first time, and I don't remember, obviously, any of this. And they were like, sir, could you just, refrain from smoking cigarettes in the room, which is like one of our most common, easy.
Everyone else is able to do it, sir.
Every single other person has never, and I'm just like, okay. And then I'm so blacked out, I probably just forget the interaction happened. Wake up like 5 minutes later. The walk outside would have taken like 30 seconds. But I'm like, it's cigarette time. We're all in bed here. And then they came again. They're like, sir, please.
Mike, this sounds like something you would do. Man sues himself and asks the state to pay.
That's impressive.
I like that, actually. That's like outside the box.
In 1995, inmate Robert Lee Brock from Indian Creek Correctional Center filed a lawsuit against himself for a whopping $5 million for violating his own civil rights. Brock contended that his religion.
That's already so good.
Suit myself for my own.
Ready. Brock contended that his religion forbids the use of alcohol, and that even so, he made the choice to drink, which led him to commit the crimes that had him sent behind bars in 1993, breaking and entering and grand larceny. Quote, I caused myself to violate my religious beliefs. Brock insisted. He angrily demanded $5 million from himself, but insisted that the state should pay it on his behalf because he was a warden of the state. As you may guess, the case was swiftly dismissed.
Yeah, except for that guy should try again today with this judge. He'd probably be rewarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm impressed
Like,
with the
You know
outside
what? And I
box.
think you should throw in another $2 million of punitive damages, so I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah, you should get like Anthony.
And if we win the case, I'm buying.
you should get like Casey Anthony's lawyer.
Yeah, dude, that's absolutely insane. That's like, I don't even know. It's hard
these are all
to
out there.
fathom the fact that people can just do things like that.
I'd like to sue myself for touching children. I masturbated as a kid.
Yeah.
Man sues Michael Jordan for facial resemblance.
What?
Just looking.
Dude, could
like
you
him.
imagine being Michael Jordan, getting that in the mail, and just being like, "What?" Like that's the reason why being
Come
famous
on,
sometimes
man.
probably isn't. You're just looking at it, you're just like,
Oh yeah.
He probably, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if how many people you think get paid just because it's easier to just pay the person than it is to
Constantly.
like. That's what's
Yeah.
crazy is like you can just be in a room with a famous person alone and then just like accuse them, be like, oh, and we were in a room alone together. He tried to touch my pee-pee.
You tried it.
They tried it, and the guy's like, I absolutely did not, but you'll go away for $20,000. Cool, I don't have to waste any time here.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then people are like, see, they paid it, they did it.
Yep.
And you're like,
Which is
no,
not
man,
true.
that's it. There's no admission of guilt, but people,
No.
now-
They
that's
just
why-
fill in that blank themselves. So.
yeah, everyone does it backwards now. It's so annoying. Yeah, dude, things are falling apart pretty bad. I can't believe. You guys heard about what happened at Kavanaugh's house, right?
No.
So they're what's it called? Some guy got
poor guy.
caught. He's being charged with attempted murder. He had zip ties, guns, a bunch of other stuff.
Like getting ready to kill him.
Yeah, and then he turned himself in, which is real odd, I thought. But yeah, like
odd.
that whole thing. And then guess what? The people that were protesting that were there decided now let's have let's increase the protests and stuff like that. And it's like it's actually
bad.
illegal. You're not allowed to have a protest. But Merrick Garland, because he's all in Biden's pockets, just like, nope, not going to do anything. And they could all be arrested. It's literally, they could be arrested under all the same statutes that all the people in
Because it's a
January
crime
6th.
scene or whatever, or like
No, because you're not allowed to protest outside of a judge's house.
It's especially
Oh, right,
No, it's a conflict of
especially the
interest.
Supreme
Yeah,
Court
yeah.
judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court judge
Can't
is
threaten a
like
judge.
a special
Yeah.
thing too. And
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Really.
shouldn't.
You shouldn't. It
Yeah.
should come with some consequence.
they're also doing the same thing with
Maybe
like
some thought
the
before doing
January
it.
6th thing and like I was watching Tim Pool earlier and he was talking about how they did the when Trump cleared the church
Yeah.
outside the White House. It was like the
Mhm.
president's church or whatever. The people that were like there were like firebombing like a guardhouse outside the White House, which is essentially like making an attempt to breach the White House.
Terrorist attack.
So like you could have charged all these people with the same thing that you're charging the January 6th people with.
I was gonna say it's not as bad as January 6th.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what my thing is. Like you can see how it's just a politics thing at this point. That they don't care about justice. It's about
Oh, it's all political.
it's about grinding down the people that like oppose you because you could get all those people that were at that scene.
And then it's
on
a
the same
distraction
things.
mechanism too, because they don't want people to look at the current administration and like how terrible everything is. So they're just replaying like Capitol stuff. And it's like, dude, this was number one. This was like what, like 2 years ago at this point? And like number two, like how about all the BLM stuff and all the, what was it, Chad or Chaz?
Oh
or
yeah,
something like that?
yeah. Change.
Yes.
That's
It
why
was
it's
like, and all of a
Chad
sudden,
and
like,
Chaz.
and in an ideal world, man, like I'll say it, let's be honest. Like if there's going to be a big riot and a bunch of people are going to get killed, like wouldn't Congress really be at the top of that list? Like they're not that great. I don't like them. I'm not a fan. Like I don't know. It's just funny.
where were
how
you on
they flip
January
the-
6th, Michael?
It's like, yeah. Oh, I was.
No, dude. When Mike was talking online, when Liberatoria was talking online, he literally had people being like, "Where were you on January 6th?" Like people
Yeah.
literally already trying to threaten people with that because you want to talk about it.
But who are you gonna be? Like, who do you feel more bad for in a vacuum? Like the people in Chavs, where there's like a mom and her little girl, and there's like an AK-47 next to them, and they're like, "We were just living here, and like we can't do or we can't leave." And
Hey, Minnie.
or the congressperson that's been blasting your ass for the last 30 years that's voted yes for abortion 41 times, no 39 times, and abstained twice, depending on how attractive the account rep was that weekend. You know?
Oh, dude, you know what's crazy to find out again? And another reason why, what's it called? I need to start interviewing local people. Guess who one of the 10 Republicans that voted to raise the voting age and voted to make it so that other restrictions on gun? Fitzpatrick. And that's the reason I can't stand that guy.
Oh, dude, you remember me telling you I met him one time at a bar, ironically enough.
That's right.
But I could tell, man, he was just because he came up to me like all coyly. I had my MAGA hat on, actually at the bar, which was funny too. And what's it called? He came up to me and he's like, and he's all coy and all. You can tell he's a snake just by the way he's like, "I like your hat, but like, don't tell anybody that I like your hat." I'm like, okay. And Yeah, then I commented on his Facebook like a while after the fact when I saw how like because he's just the ultimate like
Rhino.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And I just commented and I was like, dude, I met you one time and you stand for like nothing that you talked about that night. And I commented on it and I was like you're an idiot. Like I would never vote for you.
Yep, he voted to impeach Trump.
Yeah.
He, what's it called? A lot of times when
No, he's
Trump
all
had-
establishment. He's all about keeping the stupid leftist establishment like all happy and
Right,
everything
as long-
like that.
well, as
And then
long
he
as it's
throws
not-
in an occasional like bone to like conservatism, and you're just supposed to be like, oh, Dad's Republican.
As
it's
long as his
wicked."
pockets get filled.
Yeah.
No, but
give a
he's
shit.
been, you know what he's been using? He's been using the what's it called? He has like the police endorsements. He's got the fire department.
Yep.
He gets endorsed by all.
I see his name all over.
Yeah,
the
he
place.
gets endorsed by all these things. And it's like, dude, he doesn't support your guys'
Any of them.
values.
No.
It's so bad. And it's just because he has an R next to his name, like it's like people around here
Yep.
are so dumb. They don't even know that like
Because-
this
because
guy
people on
is a
both sides-
rhino.
A lot of people on both sides don't want to do research.
No, and especially when it gets to the congressional level. I mean, everybody, that's the whole thing that in
Everyone
today's
fishes out
society and
efforts.
world is that everybody wants this hubris like they know something, and everybody just wants the image of like, oh, I'm politically aware.
nobody
I know.
actually
But
talks
they're
it,
not
yeah.
sitting there researching. God, they don't know anything. They look at like one BuzzFeed article and they're just like, his name has an R with the, like,
Yeah.
there's no actual thought.
There's
awareness.
a lady who I believe is a Satanist who in what is it? Oregon, I believe. I think she ran as a Republican. And because people were so sick of what was going on, she just got in and it was like, I'm a Satanist. I don't even believe any of these things. But because you guys are idiots, like literally trolled the whole thing. And like, you sit there and you're like, this is how bad it is, where people just literally look at a letter and are like, that's my team.
Yeah, well, it's you know enough about history. It goes back to the whole two-party system thing and how corrupt that actually is, and then it goes back to Andrew Jackson talking about how the corporations are just going to pop up and buy all the freedoms and all the things away anyway. So, I mean, there's so many things in Washington that just make the system of democracy so much less effective. Clearly,
Well, dude, Hillary.
pork barreling and the lobbying and
Oh,
the,
yeah.
all, and it's like, dude, it's not that hard to like. It's like, okay, we can't exchange this money like directly in front of like the entire Congress, but like coming to this restaurant, like it's the easiest thing to be like, not hard to do.
Well, dude, I talked
Or
to
you get into threatening people or like the elitist level of stuff, and it's like I don't know if the guy from Exxon, he probably has a bunch of like super powerful connections because he's the dude running Exxon. Like I don't know what he's doing to people, like on the side or behind closed doors, or
Yeah.
like you know what I mean.
I talked to a
Right,
former
why
CEO.
whatever.
I won't give his name just because I don't. What's it called? I actually know him still pretty well. But I talked to a former CEO who literally pretty much told me about how they bribe people.
Yeah,
'Cause he
of
used
course.
to he used to be
Go
like a really
on.
big buyer of like things, and so just to do business, you need to make a bunch of money. And he literally
Yep.
told me he was like one of the big things you do is you invite them and their wife out, right? And then you talk the dude up the whole time. So then his wife saw, you know what I mean? His
Yeah.
wife saw like, oh, I'm dating this awesome guy. So then when they go back to the hotel later, she bangs his brains out. Like literally he's telling me all these things. He's like, and then he gets to feel like a big guy. He's like, then
Oh,
they go to the casino.
Strong guy.
He's like, then
Yeah.
they go to the casino. He's like, oh, I take out a bunch of money. We betting. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I would just take the money on the thing and be like, you play for me. And then the guy would play. And then whatever he walked away with later when the guy was like, oh, I got to give you money. Be like, no, it's fine, man. It's just gambling. And I'm like, so they're just
Yeah.
using the casino and the game to just like, as that thing. And then the whole psychology of like,
Yeah, it's the intermediary.
and
thing.
he said you take him to a show, you talk him up in front of his
Yeah.
wife, and then you do this bribe, and then the next day they come in with their new company that wants to buy all this stuff, and they're just they don't care. The dude's in such a good mood, he's just buying anything. And they're dropping millions of dollars just into buying his products. And I was like,
Party time.
and it was funny because he was telling me this, and I was like, you're like just telling me how corporate like people just get around stuff.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he's a liberal. He's a diehard liberal. Like, these companies are so bad. I'm like, dude, you were the corrupt dude. Like, you were the like.
Wow.
I sit there. I'm like the disconnect.
in true liberal form.
Yeah, total disconnect.
Total liberal form.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude. And then he watches CNN all day.
Well,
just,
that's
oh,
different.
so
It's
frustrating.
me.
Yeah.
I want this money, so that doesn't apply this time.
But then you sit there and you're like, dude, you know the game. Like, then
Yeah.
why? I just never understood. Like, how can you? It's such projection.
I'm all for superior moral standards, except when they stand in the way of anything that I want to do directly or
Except for
make me take any type
It's
of.
because again,
action.
like I said earlier,
Well, my believies.
My
We were talking-
believies.
I said this line earlier before we started recording. Some people have the freedom to be liberals.
Yeah.
Like when you have money, you really don't have to worry about much. You can think whatever you want.
Yeah.
Did you hear Biden? Literally, they're trying to say the economy's good right. You literally have.
Oh yes, yeah.
They're trying to say, and it's like, in what world is $5 gas good?
It's over. Yeah.
$4.99.
If you live in California,
yeah, no, right now people in California probably stab you for $5 gas.
Yeah. But they're not materialistic.
yeah.
Those type of people just really at this point in my life just rub me the wrong way. Like just those falsely idealistic, like super lefty, like hippie type of people that then just get absurdly selfish. Like the moment anything of theirs is like threatened, they're like, yeah, I'm really like altruistic. And then they get like a pack of cigarettes and it's like, no, I need these because it's like, what?
I just want to, dude, this
You want the image of being altruistic.
Yeah.
And then you get the stuff that you want or manipulate somebody into getting something. And then you're like,
Right.
all right, I got my stuff. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I really want to like either move to Texas or Florida or West Virginia or something, because right now it's just like those states, like Florida right now is in like a $20 billion surplus. Like,
Well, yeah, because all the smart New Yorkers are like all there now. Like
What?
even the young ones who weren't going to move there until like 10 years from now.
dude, it's just amazing. It's amazing that places can
Yeah.
be doing so much better.
Yeah.
That, Texas, besides the crazy shooting, is doing really well and stuff like that. Like all these states are doing really well, and then you have like New York City, which is literally turned into like Gotham.
Yep.
I was some lady literally got stabbed by like a bunch of teenagers to death. And you're like, wow. And everyone's just like,
I will say,
Well, she was white.
surprised they haven't had. I will say, I'm surprised that New York hasn't had like a mass shooting in a while.
it did have a mass shooting.
Did it?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
the, it just
Mass
got,
one? Like how-
yeah, dude, there's a dude on the subway, and people are getting killed on the subway. Like,
Yeah,
every-
they
but
got,
they-
hol-
but they
they
won't-
got
I bet
Holy
you- I bet-
Communion, and then everybody got shot.
no, the dude,
Oh, whoops.
supposedly, from what I understand, the guy was a black supremacist, and of course it just gets
Right. I
buried.
was gonna say you're,
Well,
you're
yeah,
never
all
gonna
that
hear
stuff
about
because
it.
it doesn't fit the narrative
No.
and all that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden they're like, because that's the whole thing.
I wonder
It's
if,
all
like,
just
I
a
wonder if
divisive
society's just gonna get like
tactic.
bored of doing that after a while.
No, dude, it's all about
So,
scale.
When you hop
How much
like
longer
when
can
you
do
go
that?
through what I go through and you hop rehabs and you're exposed to like all these different places, like one thing you notice about like today's actual day and age and the real people in the world, like right away, is that like all this identity politics and all
Mhm.
this divisive bullshit, it's all the fucking media and it's all just
Oh,
a
yeah.
mechanism because they want us to be arguing with each other. Well, they go and just do whatever they want to do to just get more power, take more freedom,
Mhm.
get themselves out of Dodge way economically when it comes down to like that type of stuff. And it's just so apparent because, dude, like a rehab is literally like a group of drunks and drug addicts that just stopped the thing they're addicted to.
Mhm.
And there's gays, straights, women, men, black, white, Native Americans, Asians. And it's just this giant pot of all different blends and kinds and ages and everything imaginable, all those different people in the worst possible state like they could pretty much be in,
Mhm.
and it's great.
Right.
It just works fine.
Right.
And nobody is sitting there like, I can't be in here with the black guy, or I can't
Right.
nah, Mr. Miyagi, I don't want him in my small group.
It's almost as if when we focus on real problems, people come together.
Crazy.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, no.
It's almost like individualism is just a thing, and it's just an individual. It's not like why.
Why are we putting people in the groups?
Yeah, and there's certain elements of identity that, like, we were talking about this like earlier today, where it's like I don't run around overcompensating, like I'm so straight right now,
Well, dude,
just
that's
loving the ladies
that's-
because I'm how straight I am. Like,
well, that's honestly that to me that's what that's the thing about people who are super LGBTQ.
yeah, oh yeah,
Like no one care. Like comes down to it's like I don't really care if you're gay or not, but when it's the crux of your identity, it's the
Yup.
same thing as the college dude that just doesn't shut up about girls.
Yep.
That's all you can talk. That girl's so hot. That girl's so, and you're like, dude, we all have eyes. We all understand. Like, and that's all they talk about. Oh, I hooked up and blah blah. And you're like, dude, like you have nothing else to give to the world, like except
Yeah.
for talking about sex. It's just such an immature identity. It's like I don't care. What's your art? What's your music? Like, what do you do to help?
What are your thoughts on things?
Yeah, what do you do to help people? What do you do? Like, that's the whole thing.
Well, and then you get into the concept of like, and you see a lot of these like left people do it, where it's just the concept of like the overcompensation of just like selectively like being a fan for somebody just predicated off the fact of like, oh, you're a lesbian, like I automatically like you. I'm not assessing your character in any way. I don't know you worth from a can of paint, or like you just robbed my grandma of $300, but you're a lesbian, so I love you. Like,
Right.
it just gets over. It's so like overcompensatory that way, or
Like
whatever.
yeah, the person gets like sucked up by the
It's like,
identity.
I just met you 3 minutes ago, but I love you just because you're a lesbian. I know nothing else about you.
you stabbed
You
me.
could have like a child sex ring in the basement, but like, you're a lesbian, so you're awesome.
So you're a hero.
You
Gender.
stabbed me. Oh, you're in the LGBTQ. I like it.
I like it, Kate. Gender.
I like that you stabbed me. It was for equality.
You like my friend Caitlin. For equality.
You like bumping tacos. Good for you.
Katie.
Yeah, no, dude, it's
Oh, Caesar.
Those are me timbers.
I always do that when the Jenners come out, like the conversation with the actual women or whatever comes up with like a lot of people, and they'll be like, oh, I don't even know their names really, Kylie or whatever. They'll be like, oh, Kylie's super hot, and I always deadpan. I'm like, I like that Kate. I like that Caitlin a lot, and people just goes right over their head. They don't realize like what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and then like 3 minutes will go by in the conversation. Like, did you say Caitlin? Jenner. I like her. Woo.
She
happened?
got
When
weird.
When did
Nice
she
lady.
come around?
When does she start coming around this place? I
Saddle
like
up.
her. Ooh.
Saddle up, buckaroo. Slogan.
And strong hands too.
Nice big hands.
Stronger, bigger than mine.
Everybody look.
She
Everybody
has
look.
such, she has such a hot Adam's apple.
Oh yes.
I love her dick.
There it is. That's the closer.
Yeah.
Oh, good night, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, exactly.
I usually would need a bottle opener for this beer, but she opened it like true lady.
With her 5 o'clock shadowed chin.
Yeah.
Crimson Chin.
The fact that she was running as a Republican and people were so like all about her,
Yeah.
like that. How are you conservative? Like, I don't really care that much, but I'm not like the normal conservative, like down, like.
No.
But when you have people being like, "She'll fix California," and then
Yes.
like you literally inside your own party have people being like, "He'll fix it. She'll fix it. He'll fix it. I'll kill you." Like, that's so dumb. And then Larry Elder.
And then it's so tempting
Oh,
to make
poor
the
Larry
joke
Elder.
with that, where it's like, well, it took you a pretty long time to figure a pretty simple thing out, like about yourself. So now you're just going to fix the state.
Yeah, exactly.
Or-
you know
or-
what? Let's transition this
Yeah.
state.
Let's transition this state.
We're going back to England.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, California can have, or England can have California. Just put them back under the crown.
Oh, yeah.
Turn our blue coats back to red coats, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's one of the most. I still can't believe, dude. How about when Larry Elder was running and
Poor guy.
and that liberal,
Called him a
that
black white
crazy. I shouldn't
supremacist.
even say that. Well, there was that where he was the black face of white supremacist, which was
Yep.
an article. That's a real article. You can look
Tyrone
that up.
Bigham.
And then, yeah, exactly. He's Tyrone Biggums.
Right.
But no,
Yeah,
what was the other,
same.
what was the other thing that happened to him? Oh, there was a lady who rode up on a bike wearing a gorilla mask and threw an egg at him. Imagine.
That was for progress.
Yeah. But imagine,
Yeah, but if he was Democratic, that'd be racist.
dude,
that was
imagine
for
if that was a
peace.
conservative. Imagine
Oh,
if it
yeah.
was reversed. That person would be dead.
Yep.
That person, I think the left would have literally,
They swallowed him whole.
yeah, they would have killed. But instead, that got buried. People don't even know that happened.
What about what's his face, the Jesse Smollett thing, where he just literally fabricated everything and just
Juicy
lied?
Smollett.
And he went- and dude, he went
whatever
to-
his name is.
Juicy Smoulier.
What did he do? I think he went to jail for less than a week and then got out, and
Yeah.
now he's got a new show and all that kind of like the ultimate
Oh.
slap on the wrist. He's supposed to be in there for years, and he served like a week. I think it was like 5 days or something.
Yeah.
And he got out, and you're like,
They got him out early because he had a gluten-free diet.
yeah.
They couldn't keep him in there. Yeah, it was inhumane.
But the January 6 people are still sitting in there when cops were like, "Come in, come
Yeah.
on in."
Come on in.
And now there are people sitting there being like, "What?" And just like, "Yeah, no trial for you.
No trial for you. 6 months.
6 months."
6 months. No trial.
Oh, thank God there's an L in that
yeah.
word.
What?
Thank God there's an L in the word trial. Oh, no trial for you.
The trial.
No traffic at all.
Oh, Disney
It didn't
Cruise.
take too long. It only took like a half hour.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're gonna rip everybody apart at some point. That's the
We're
actual
coming for you.
thing that we do.
Oh man, but yeah,
Oh,
dude, that
trial piece.
that blew my mind. Oh, so here's another thing. You guys probably heard about it for a second, but yeah, Biden to allow more ethanol in effort to ease gas prices. They want to put more ethanol in the gasoline.
So to make them explosive. Well, not explosive,
No,
but,
not
like,
dude, corrosive.
Uh,
The reason-
Start wrecking people's cars.
The reason you can't like the reason it
Yeah, easy. If we destroy everyone's cars, no one will have to buy gas.
to be like, yeah,
Well, no,
Economy.
economy.
Yeah,
Economy
no.
good.
Economy good.
On the upside, it's way better for huffing from economy. Spoken like the addict.
With the conspiracy aspect is like they're doing that to wreck everyone's cars to be like, guess gotta get electric car now 'cause car broke.
Oh no, you gotta get chip and brain for car.
Government make you.
You
get
are now car. Yeah.
Take you where government want you go.
You
You
gotta
make
get
under
chip and
50,000
go
a
inside
year,
the
you
car,
are a
and now you're a car.
Yeah.
Soon, all of a sudden, now it's just going to be like, oh, you can only drive if you have a Tesla because they're the only cars that work.
Yep.
Mark of the beast.
Yeah, I don't know about that,
No,
but yeah,
I mean if it was that blatant, I'd be like, okay, that's weird.
yeah. So they want to what's it called? They want to raise the allow 15% ethanol to be sold between June 1st and September 1st.
What is it now? 10.
10. Yeah. So
Cool.
it's
5% more.
yeah, dude, and that's gonna
We won't look at any of the build up to this or the fact that it was all due to the current administration. We'll just completely erase that portion.
We won't try to
Look at how good we
won't
are.
try to
More
mimic.
ethanol.
We won't try to mimic the Canadian truck drivers strike and do a strike that actually matters against this.
When Canadian
just
truck
fucking-
drivers strike, do they apologize as they're striking?
No, instead, let's wear gorilla masks and
You
throw
want more
bananas at
wages.
black
I'm
men.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
mate.
I'm sorry, I'm protesting, mate.
I'm sorry.
Where
I'm
are
protesting,
you?
mate. Sorry, I won't
And
go to
I'm
work.
so sorry.
I'm sorry you're oppressing
Give
me.
me more money. I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
Oh, that's money.
Oh man.
Oregon's on some new antidepressants.
They're working.
Sorry.
great.
My
I've
new-
never
my
felt
new anti-
more alive.
My new antidepressant is MDMA.
Where's Hollow when you need him?
He's in the other room
Yeah.
watching.
He'll be in. He heard
He's
MDMA.
watching.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be in soon.
Holland?
My MDMA, sir.
Yeah. Benjamin, bring me my drugs.
Go Bulls. I just been
We
Goran.
were talking about a different Holland, not the one from the last episode. Definitely a different Holland.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, other Holland. How many Hollands here? Definitely more one.
Definitely podcast.
Definitely pod. Definitely casting for the pod. Definitely.
Oh. But yeah, so they're gonna ruin all of our cars, which is
Yeah.
fun.
That's all right.
That's okay. Joe Biden will build it back better.
Yeah.
Nothing's back. Nothing's built. Nothing's better.
And if you don't buy a Tesla,
Nothing's
you,
back. Nothing's built. Nothing's back. Great
And
slogan.
if you don't buy a Tesla, you're not black.
You ain't real black.
Because you
Tesla.
have the
Right,
money
they're
to
gonna
buy-
get rid of new. They're
You're not a real Tesla.
Wait,
if you
I
don't buy a
heard. I
black.
heard that they revisited the no menthol cigarettes. Is that really gonna happen?
I thought it already happened.
No.
Oh no, you smoking those.
I mean, I smoked menthol yesterday.
Yeah,
I
no, but
happened to get a.
No, they well, I
there are
know for
menthols in the
vapes,
store.
for like e-cigarettes, they took
Ooh.
out the flavor out of like Juuls specifically. I think they all like taste like tobacco now.
What's nice, the black community has somebody like Joe Biden to
Look out for 'em.
empower them by making their decisions.
Oh, and
against
also
their
give
will
them
for them.
and also giving them free crack pipes.
Yeah.
which they said there weren't crack pipes in the thing.
Well, I actually support that. Do you have any money?
They were like, "There's no." Yeah, they were like, "There's no crack. There's no
You
crack."
Tyrone
pipes.
Bigum's theme
I
song.
like that policy. It's cold.
Yeah, they were like, "No, there's no crack pipes." And then the people found the units, and they were like, "No, there's crack pipes in there." And they're like, "Okay."
I actually
Like
support,
that's literally what the White House did. They literally just hope that the narrative changes. They lie out
Yeah.
there they just lie constantly, and then they just hope. They're like, oh, hopefully the narrative just changes and enough people just.
Yeah, man, train's
never-
going too fast to stop it.
Yeah, if they do like a program with like alcohol in that situation, I might have to reconsider.
Did you have sex with my client?
Yeah.
Not.
Dude, that's the thing. It's crazy. But
Bad
Biden,
baby, bad baby.
Biden had the Tara Reid stuff, which was pretty much.
Yeah, but it wasn't Me Too because he's a liberal all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So nah, we don't have to look into that. She's crazy.
Honestly, dude, it's funny as you say that. I've been thinking about that for a while. Like, honestly, if somehow Republicans don't win this, I think they should just get rid of the party and just call themselves Democrats, but then just stick their conservative ideas out there. Like, I think that's the only thing that actually might be able to save things.
Well, so we're all Democrats.
We'd just be like we're just yeah, you'd be right wing Democrat.
Right back to just being people.
Yeah, exactly. Because you just have a D next to your name, so then they're like, wait, hear him out.
Yeah.
All right, Lyndon.
All right, Trump, you heard that? You little bitch.
Yeah, no, that'd be funny. Yeah, Trump just run as a Democrat.
Where are
Get
you?
a guy like Vinny and just put some like mascara and lipstick on him. And be like, okay, you're making sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
For this statement, I identify as lady.
I'm a lady.
Lady now.
Told you I could do it. If I cut my penis off.
Look at my lady PP.
Look at my lady PP.
How dare you assume my gender?
Come with me, my liberal sheep. Follow my lady PP.
I'm gonna take my rock hard vagina.
My rock hard vagina.
My vagina is so erect
My vagina.
for rights for women
Yes.
and anyone but
I'm
black
Agree.
white
I'm
men.
gonna stick it in that man's penis. That's what's so dumb.
Stick him up my
The whole
vagina.
thing is like you're literally reverting wokeism. We're
Woke.
literally like me and Mike. I've loved comedy my whole life.
Yes.
and so is Mike.
I hate comedy.
And the thing is
I hate happiness.
I feel like comedy, like we're watching it become
Yes.
real, and it's
It makes us laugh.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those things where you're like, that would be hilarious, and you're like, actually no, comedies are all like tragedy. That like
Yeah, it's coping.
yeah, it's like time where you're like,
Yep.
oh, I can disassociate from it, and now we're not allowed to disassociate from it because every
Yep.
time it's like you're on TV and people are like, what is a woman?
What is woman?
And then also there's comedians like who are having their careers ruined for saying
Oh yeah.
not bad stuff.
But that at the same time, I feel like overall, like especially with guys like Louis C.K. and dudes that are, I feel like it just works adversely because anytime you make comedy taboo, there's just gonna be flocks of people
who
that
are
are
like,
like,
"Fuck
I want to
that."
see what Dave Chappelle said. Why is everybody so? And then
yeah.
And
Good
then
time.
the
Go
media is
figure.
also the ultimate asshole that speaks for what's it called, like huge groups of people that don't really exist.
Black people don't like
Yeah.
this. You're not the king of black people.
Isn't
No
it
one is.
racist for
Eminem's the king
you
of
as an
black-
entity to just exactly? Isn't it more racist for you to just be an entity and be like, nah,
Oh,
we
that
speak
was
for
a
all
Tony.
black people?
That
and
was-
that's
Kill Tony. Right.
Yeah, no, that wasn't Kill Tony. That's when we went to
Oh, that's when we were at the
that was that one stand-up
Yeah,
guy's
the creek or
joke where you were
whatever.
laughing. Remember?
Corner of the Creek.
He made fun of me. He laughed at me because I laughed at that joke too hard because he was like Eminem.
Right. You're too white to like that joke.
Yeah, exactly. He was talking about Eminem. He was talking about the N-word.
You were-
Remember?
yeah.
And he said something. He was like, you can't say. He was like, you can't say it. He was like, unless you beat a couple up. He's like, actually, that's how Eminem became the king of black people. He's like, he said it twice. He fought two of them, and they were like, yeah, you're king. It's like, wow. That's why I laughed so hard. I was like, that joke's too funny. It's super inappropriate and super hilarious. And that guy was like, you're too white to be laughing that hard at that joke. And I was like, dude, I appreciate good comedy.
no matter what.
Because it was one of those things where it was like absurd. It was so
matter what.
perfectly absurd. So perfectly absurd.
Yeah.
And the fact that Eminem gets treated the way he does. Like, I remember they were like, you could say that. And he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm intelligent. Like, I'm not just going to say a word. It can ruin my career.
Dude, that guy has enough words in his vocabulary. He doesn't even need that word.
Yeah. No, but I just thought that was really funny. But yeah, that's what that's from.
There's something that remember the Marshall Mathers LP? Some of the shit on there was like,
Oh,
out of this.
man.
Like that's what I like about Eminem though, especially like the older Eminem. A lot of his stuff was actually like satire and comedic.
Yep.
It was actually really
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
like,
He made fun of
listen
himself a
to,
lot,
like-
too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't pull any punches or just he made fun of everybody.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Yeah.
because
You
it
can
was,
only go after
it was
people
the
who go after him.
downgrade society. That's the
Yep.
thing, though. It was always if you're like, hey, things have gone too far, everyone's like, no.
Yep.
Like what? McDonald? What's his name?
Norm McDonald?
Michael McDonald.
Is that the rapper?
No.
Oh no, you're no.
Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes, I knew it was like a generic name. But yeah, he what's it
Billy.
called? That guy is so good right now. He's been calling out, the wokeism and the woke crap.
He is
for a
really
while.
good.
Yeah.
And he's very good, but it's like because it's not denigrating, it's like
Yeah.
it's like he gets shut down. Like that's it sucks. It sucks that like the way that things are changing.
Well, it's
Also-
funny
also,
too.
art form is
That,
supposed to like, help people find commonality between each other and like.
well, and it's funny
people
too
wanna
that nobody
stop that.
wants to recognize the denigrative elements of like urban culture, and then you just like turn on the radio and it's like gotta shoot all this heroin and kill everybody, and you're like,
a bunch
"Think
of
this might
hoes,
have
fuck a
something to
bunch
do
of
with it.
hoes."
Yeah.
My 5-year-old singing this.
I love bad bitches.
I love mistreating women and stealing.
Why is society falling apart?
What is happening?
Let's give this guy a Grammy.
It's all those guys down south and in the States, thousands of miles. It makes no sense.
Yeah, no, dude, it's crazy to me, the whole thing. And now they're trying to I think it's
All the
It's-
racist people are in all the places of the states where there's less people.
yeah.
Not in the cities.
No, dude, racism's just backwards now. Now you just have
Yeah.
racists with bad conscience where they're sitting there and they're like, "Oh, black people can't get IDs. That's why you can't have voter
Oh, dude, that
ID."
video like pissed me off. So for those out there who don't know,
We're transitioning to being black, if you can tell.
oh yeah, right. I'm
He's trying.
currently Mexican.
Yes,
That's gonna be the one that gets us canceled.
Yeah.
a great Goran.
Yeah, there's a video of like
Best
a guy walking around interviewing a bunch of white like liberal people, and they're all like, "So why do you think it's racist to get voter ID laws put in place?"
Some of these Gordons I assume are good people. Some of them.
What do you sound like?
It's Trump.
It's Donald Trump.
It
That
sounds like
reminds me of
it's like Trump and Biden almost mixed together. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I'm sure some of these Gordons are
Yeah,
good people.
the kid with the weird
We don't-
hair. And he says stuff, and sometimes,
on, man.
you know,
What were you saying, Gore?
I forget.
it's real pale in the wintertime, and then in the summertime, he's like a Mexican one.
I want to sniff your kid's head,
Okay,
man.
where's
Come
your kid's head, man?
I want to sex your dad.
on. I want to sex your kid.
I want to sniff your kid.
Oh man, yeah, no, dude. Seriously, that's I
I'm a
think,
really direct guy. I want to sex your kid.
brought to you by Joe Biden. If you don't know who you want your kid to have sex with, then you're
Fuck
not.
you.
Then you're not a Democrat.
I really hope
You're
he,
not a
I
Democrat.
really
You
hope
don't
he
let me have
does live
sex with
long
your
enough.
kid, then you're a Trump
if you
supporter.
don't listen, if you don't leave the kid downstairs and next
this
to
point-
me for alone from a time.
At
then,
this point, if he surprisingly like makes it to running for a second term, I would love to see what his campaign's gonna be this time. Like I would just
it's gonna be a fucking repeat of the same stupid shit.
like
that's
how much
been-
like clearly they've run out of ideas of how to connect with like.
Dude, I think
other
it's gonna be
people and
funny
all
because
that,
if
so
that
it's-
if
well,
they,
they don't want to connect with people. That's not even how they do their dizzle. They just
They-
they
no, they
literally
attempted-
media barf
No, they-
into
they-
everybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they attempted. Remember, like when
I don't even know if I'd call it
Elizabeth Warren-
connecting. It's more just like misleading
it's
and
so disconnected, and it's like.
well,
it's
dude,
so
there's the whole
cringy.
illusion.
It's like when Elizabeth Warren was like showing
then they'll
herself
show a
drinking
tr-
beer on a webcam conversation, whatever. and she's
Oh,
like,
I'm
"Look how
having a
cool."
beer.
Yeah, and we're like, what?
I'm just like you.
Yeah, it's cringy.
Oh, here comes my husband. Hello, husband.
Hi, husband. None of this has been staged at all,
We
husband.
didn't practice this 37 times.
Oh, and dude, do you remember the super racist cookie jar she had on the thing?
What was it again?
In the back of that video, there's a cookie jar that's like one of the old like black-faced people cookie jar thing. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
super,
yeah.
and everyone was like, "Whoa!" Like I remember being,
she could do that.
yeah,
She could
exactly.
do that. She's Native American.
Yeah, dude. Dude, all I want to say is I wish Hunter Biden's last name was Trump. Because could you imagine? There'd be
Hunter Biden
billboards.
Trump.
There would literally be billboards if that was Trump Jr. Of all the things he did. They would literally they'd be broadcasting everything from that laptop. The media would be like, he smoked crack. He went to what?
Corin just made me think of like a Native American president, like the character that we do, and just
Oh.
like how funny that would be with like the laptop thing. Be like, we will investigate strange magical machine,
Which brings spirits from within.
bring strange spirits and content.
Ooh,
from
boobies.
air. Ooh, boobies.
I need to take strange things.
Boobies of white lady must come with me to the bathroom.
We are peaceful people.
We are a peaceful people. Put all white women boobies on separate reservation for me.
We are a peaceful people. Unless you disrespect our gods, then we will kill you.
And we will brutally kill you in front of your children. Peacefully.
Peacefully. Yes, exactly.
Well, we also look at boobies.
Unless you have more of the booby machine, then perhaps we work out deal.
What?
I was gonna say, just watch the
Laughing into the mic.
the touching the mic. It's
Oh, I'm trying to. The arm needs to be.
yeah, it's just making a very low like.
There we go.
And guess what else?
What did
Can
Cinderella
you
say?
even
When,
guess?
what did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
What?
What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
If elected, I will make
Oh,
white
got to the
man
ball.
reservation.
Just the
White
one ball.
male reservation.
It's Lance Armstrong.
That's literally he took.
That was him for Halloween one year. It was hilarious, actually. It was like during the cancer thing too.
Was
I
your
went out
hair-
with my friend.
your hair like that?
Let's call him Timmy. Went out with Timmy and trick or treating, and I put no thought into like an actual costume or like nothing like that, and I was like, oh, I know what I'll do, and he just had these red like hot pants, so it was freezing too. I literally just had the red hot pants on, and just like athletic shoes with like the socks pulled up, and then I just put one golf ball in the pants.
I had a buddy.
Amazing.
When I was younger who went as the IRS. And every dad joke was the same one where it was like, that's the most terrifying costume you could possibly be. Like every single person. It was just like one of those things where I was like, oh wow. And you literally have people just be like, I'm not giving you candy. Like you literally had you had older, because he was a little bit older, who like they were literally angry that he was the IRS.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, that's pretty good. Yeah.
That was Matt Foley one year too. That was a gem. That was a nice costume.
Yeah.
Very fun.
You have a lot of time to be living in a van down by the river when you're living in a van down by the river.
Can't see real good. That's that Bill Shakespeare over there.
Dude, I was watching one of those like dry comedy special videos on YouTube, and it was his brother, his like older brother or whatever.
Oh
He
yeah,
looks-
what's his name? Kevin Farley.
Yeah, Kevin Farley. He
He
looks.
looks so much like him and
sounds
sounds like
and
him.
looks-
Nowhere
yeah.
near as talented, but
I was just gonna say his comedy. It's like,
no, I know.
it's like way worse than I thought it would be.
I'm Chris Farley's
Yeah.
Fan down by river.
Remember that joke, guys, when he was alive?
Remember my brother?
Yeah.
Remember him?
Remember?
You should do that. See, you should do that. That would be. See, we're already funnier.
He was awesome.
He was awesome. Remember when he did?
Remember my brother when he was alive and stuff? It was great.
And then made a lot,
It was awesome.
Remember when he said?
he made a lot of money and gave me some? It was awesome.
Remember when he said, "The love you make is the love you take"?
Was that true?
Paul McCartney?
Is that true?
Yeah. It was awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. I'm blowing it.
Yeah, I always think the Schwarzenegger one. is
Oh
the one.
yeah,
yeah,
the
that one's
Schwarzenegger
really
one.
good.
You remember?
I saw that one.
Remember the Terminator?
I didn't see that one.
That was awesome.
That's awesome.
Stupid, blowing it. Remember Paul McCartney? He's like, "You doing fine, mate?"
Stop! And just
Yeah,
yeah. No, dude, that's what's cool. That Sandler thing when he
Oh, the song, the tribute song.
the
was
tribute song. Yeah, that made me cry. That was so good.
Yeah.
great. The documentary they came out with was good. I Am Chris Farley or whatever. I think it was on
I think
Netflix or Showtime or one of the. I forget.
Yeah, I think I
it was
saw
really good.
I rev Netflix.
I like that they had. They morally and they stand for such good stuff.
Yeah,
They're actually doing a little better. They
Are
pretty
they?
much.
I don't know. I haven't kept.
Yeah,
track.
no. While you were gone in rehab, they
I was in the bubble.
yeah, they literally told what's it called? They literally I think told like the woke people. They were like, "Well, we're gonna make this stuff so you can either
So you can just leave.
yeah,
I just want to
pretty
go into
much.
the bubble one time and just have it like get out and just have it be like Harry Potter world. Just have everything be like totally different after 20 years. This Vinny comes by like, "Hey, Mike, I'm on my broom playing the Quidditch." Like, here we go. This is interesting. This was worth disappearing for.
Yeah. No, man, that's like what's it called? Were you in?
I'm Fagrid.
I don't remember. Oh, that was the joke I was making about 2020. is if like say you were like to go like explore the Appalachian Trail or like be in like a really heavy rehab for the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
And like you literally just go in January and then you come out and people are like, yeah, Kobe Bryant died. And then
What?
yeah, and then we shut down the entire planet, Earth. And then there were gigantic riots the entire time. And then like 4 people went to a Biden rally, and then he beat Donald Trump, who was having rallies of like
Yeah.
mass proportions. Yeah, it was totally normal.
Oh, and Joe Biden's the most voted for president in U.S. history. I can't even say that with a straight face still. Like, really?
Oh man, yeah, dude, that's what's crazy.
The guy that, like, even when he was vice president, the president guy didn't like him.
Yeah,
And nobody liked. I never saw his face like anywhere for like 8 years, and all of a sudden America's
the
like,
other 40 years that he's been in Congress, he hasn't done much.
well, first he plagiarized. The first time he
Yeah.
ran for president, he plagiarized
Oh yeah.
and had to step out because he stole a labor union party speech. He heard it and was like, "That's me."
this is what we've come to. Just a retarded guy
Because
that. I just do your speech, you know.
he called the one
The
construction
president.
worker like a dumbass or something, and he had to like save face.
Well, dude, remember when the one guy was questioning him and he was a little overweight, and the guy was like, "Listen here, fat."
Yeah, that's
Well, that's like with the I mean, I'm a Trump supporter. I don't give a shit saying that. Oh yeah, cancel me. Cancel all the stuff I don't have. Yeah, we need something here.
Woo,
There needs to be some
Mike,
type
you're
of-
dropping the ball.
sound effect.
A Donald Trump.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, where were you?
Party foul. I used to wear my MAGA
Yeah,
hat.
That
Who's on that
horrible
one?
On
noise
purpose.
that Goran made, and I'm like, was that a like
Yeah.
a?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter, so kill
You
me.
would be with that
Yeah,
haircut.
Put me out of my fucking
All right,
misery.
time for
Yeah.
interrogation time. Where
Yeah.
were you on January 6th?
I was, taking a little sightseeing trip down in D.C.
Watch, you're literally gonna have like a knock on the FBI. FBI, were you there? Just like look at my geodata.
Hey, you know what? If the FBI knocks for me, I'll just relapse and see what happens. Let's give it a whirl.
You just call them a bunch of
Yeah,
facts.
I'll just call them a bunch of facts.
Your go-to, your go-to, when
It's
you're
my go-to apparently, and leave the
Just go right back into the woods.
into the woods.
into the woods.
You're in my world now, bitch.
My world now, bitch. Wow, they caught me almost immediately.
I challenge you to a drink
Not
off.
too drunk.
How about this? If I could drink more alcohol than you,
All
you'll
right,
let me.
pussies?
Bum, bum,
I can drink way more alcohol than you, but it's also gonna just be horrible for me.
Oh, you're not gonna ruin
And
my.
I'm not gonna remember any of
it's
this.
like
So I'm
that,
really trusting you to come through on the deal.
It's like that one episode in South Park where Stan's in the Matrix and they're like all getting drunk to try to get into it.
Yeah, it's like that's how they survive living in the real world. Is they
Yeah.
just get hammered because they're so cynical.
You're not gonna ruin my life. I'm gonna ruin my own life.
I'll just before I run into the woods, I'll map it all out. Map the relapse out, and then take my cell phone and I'll put it in our friend, let's call him Tim's mailbox.
Oh man.
Tim, huh?
What is it? Tiny Tim?
Hello, Tiny Tim.
Tiny Jim.
No.
Jim. Uh-oh.
Oh no! Do you remember what's it called? That was literally when we made our
That was a
comedic
great
play.
show. Yeah, no, that was
Our
awesome.
comedic play. That's
I
Tiny
mean, I'm
Jim.
very biased because I helped create it, so I don't know why I'm.
Hey
endorsing
man, it went for making. We made.
it. No, it was amazing.
We're professional art
Yeah.
people because our playwrights. We got paid the very first time. Made a bunch of money.
You said that
raised
like,
a bunch of
hilariously, retardedly. You were like, "We are professional art
Well, that's about how
Made
serious
much
I am about
money.
the statement.
in the professional league."
I be perpetual.
We have many much money.
Have you found the professional joke?
I wonder how much money we would have made if
To
we didn't
fly.
take cans for the can drive. Because we remember we
Yeah.
stacked up a huge thing.
Oh yeah,
And they were all worth, I think, like
I had to drop it off, and I honestly didn't even drop it off. I just ate it all. Saved it. No, I'm just kidding.
Pizza fry.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pizza.
Because what was it? I think
Rutro, is it story time? Rutro.
our audience is very consistent.
Yeah.
They clap at the same level, same pitch every
Yep.
time.
Well, you need consistency, especially in today's day and age.
No, we don't settle for.
So, all right, all of the are probably like my mom and dad, the two viewers that are watching this. I have a little story to relegate our audience to for a minute. So I used to be I'll just call it a delivery driver. I won't bring the fine establishment into this, which gave me a very fair shot, which I did not make the most of, due to some alcohol things. And so I had to deliver to, let's call it a school for some challenged people, basically. And I drove in there and
No prep
whatsoever. So it was to the point where
Completely blind.
the manager didn't even tell me, like, hey, this is a school for challenged people, or hey, like, the care people are also these Nigerians you're not going to be able to understand at all, or if you're 25 cents off, they're going to accuse you of taking quarters from retards, basically. And so I had none of this. It just was like given to me like a normal delivery. And I was like, and I'm sitting there all hopeful at first. I didn't know they needed exact change, and there were 9 different separate orders and none of it. And so I'm driving there all excited. I'm like, this is a huge order. Like, it's going to be a good night. And then I get there and, it's like during COVID too. So everybody's like, usually everybody's like coming outside or dropping it outside, or like, they're being some level of like cautious. And I just get there and I'm sitting there and I'm like, So I'm like, yeah, go up, knock on the door or whatever. And this is like in the middle of like when COVID was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And so some like angry Nigerian guy just like answers and says, come on in, like you're late, get in here. Like, and I'm like, okay, this is like against everything that I've been doing for months, but all right. And so I go in and I'm not even like halfway in the door, and like immediately like I'm just swarmed by like 3 retarded men. And they're all like simultaneously like, cheesesteak, fries, pizza. And I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, and I don't know this location. So then I'm like, where am I going, dude? Like, I haven't been in a building like this in months. I'm being swarmed by retards already.
Right.
I can't understand this guy. Like, and I'm like, where do I go? And then the dude's just he's like, go in that room or that. And I'm like, all right, shit. And then I go in the room and there's just like fucking 12 more retards. And it's just like, it's like I'm the black hole and all the retards are just getting sucked toward me.
Like you're playing Halo.
And it's like, and they're all yelling their orders like at the same time. And the one's asking me for change and shit. And the other's like, asking me if I know about magic cards or something, like, and this is all like simultaneously, and I'm just like, whoa, like step back, and then I like turn to the Nigerian guy. I'm like, what's going on?
You like held up a book. You're like, get back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get back. Big words. Huge words. And then I'm like, dude, what is this? Like, and he's like, you have all the specific change, and I'm like, no, I don't. And he's then the Nigerian guy starts giving me this information, and it's off, and then everybody's screaming their shit at me, and I'm digging through this huge thing of food and trying to like, and then like they're trying to like have them pay for the food and maybe like the change machine like at the same time, and there's like 14 of them, and I'm like, no, you don't get any change, like here. And
just because I'm smarter than you, it doesn't mean I'm.
And then there's this one dude comes up to me or whatever the whole time, and he's throwing me off like hardcore.
Pizza fry.
And I'm like, okay, pizza fry. Like, this dude's actually not that bad. He's at least telling me what he got. Like, but I'm digging through this. I'm like, there's not a single order like pizza fries. And I'm like, oh, great. The idiot manager probably and then I'm digging. And then I literally get everybody else's thing finally done. And it takes me like, I mean, when you're doing delivery, it's all about hustle and speed. I've been there about 90 minutes at this point. Cold. And and then they're like, hey, too cold. No, but then I'm in the thing or whatever, and it's the last order. It's like a thing of mozzarella sticks, and I'm like, I'm guessing that they forgot this dude's stuff, and the dude's been standing there for like the entire time, like, he can fry right now. He can fry me. And then I'm like, mozzarella sticks, and then he just like turns with this, and he's like, yep, that's me. and then just like grips them out of my hand and like leaves, and I'm just like,
He wasn't even saying the right order. That's amazing.
Well, no, they're forever called pizza fries now, like in my vocabulary.
and then I get back. I called Vinny.
He immediately called. It's the middle of a Friday night during a rush.
So one time you would not make a call to anybody. You would be like, hustle. And I was like, I don't care about the money. This is more important. This is like one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me. One of the most irreverently funny things. Vinny needs to know immediately. So then I go back. I call Vinny. I'm like, listen, I don't have a lot of time, but I got to get this. I have to bounce this off of somebody to make sure I'm not hallucinating or tripping or something.
Money can't buy that good of PTSD.
No, it was worth. Yeah, that was my tip. Really.
Yeah, this tip was the story.
It's the tip that keeps on tipping.
We were literally laughing like the whole time, and then Mike's like, "No, I really got to go though, but pray for me. I don't know what's happening."
Yeah. And then what's it called? Yeah, then I get back to the place, and of course, my manager is like this super, like, crazy high-strung Italian guy, and he's like, Michael, what took you so long? And I'm like, what took me so long?
You didn't even warn me.
Told me none of this.
Take the address off
kidding?
list now.
No,
What took me so long?
It got to a point where when I would talk to him, he would deliver there. It was like one of their number one places to deliver.
Yep.
Right.
And like the
and
guy
had to deal with them, and it makes sense. I'm not knocking them for that. Whatever, like there's no delivery fee, and they never. The one time, first of all, I was a banker too for a few years, so I'm pretty decent at math. Seeing as I was a banker, and I get there to one night, and they call me back, and they're like, "Your scumbag delivery driver stole $3 from us last week, and we need it back." And then I get and I'm standing there with the manager, and I go, "Yep, that was my master plan. I got this delivery job and did it for 2 months so I could steal $3 from a house of retarded people." That was what it was all.
Caught me.
Screw the $250 in pure cash Friday nights.
Right.
This was my plan. I just really wanted that $3 from the retards. And so I get there, and I'm like. And I say to my manager, I say, okay, they said I stole $3, right? Yeah, I said, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to fucking go there, and they're going to be $3 over on what they're giving me. And then, sure enough, I drive over there, and I'm like, nope, you were wrong, idiot. Here's $2 that you fucked up. To the care person, not the retard.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, what's it called?
No.
Special needs person.
I'm just gonna say retard.
We've already crossed the line.
We're already there.
We're deep.
Yeah. So, it was a nice 3 episodes. Hopefully.
Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, it's just to keep the comedic value. You'd never actually call him that. No. You start at the beginning doing it, but then once you start getting on
it's just from you know how it is from a delivery and a contextual standpoint. It's nothing, dude. I worked with a kid with Down syndrome, man with Down syndrome and they picked me to actually work with him, and they really liked me, where I was really good with him, and not that I'm using him as a token or anything like that. But
no, but
there's a separation. You get that. There's a separation between this is comedy. We're doing the funny. I don't go around in my spare time going oh, look, it's a dumb retarded ass retard. Here's the book, retard. It's not my life. I don't do that. It's not like a hobby.
But what if you?
It's not I don't like dinner for schmucks, real mentally challenged.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the fact that's actually probably real.
Well,
I've
one
heard of
time,
stuff
but
like
that was
that.
pretty. It was pretty. No.
No, it's about as bad as thinking that your smoking weed is going to influence the dog.
Terrible.
That
dog still has PTSD.
The dog's still dealing
from being abandoned, not from anything to do with the other thing.
What is this?
Oh, dude, when Mike and Sarah were going through it the one time, one of her arguments to try and get Mike to stop was that she literally said, "You're being a bad influence to Peach."
Oh.
Like the dog was going to start smoking or
right.
dealing weed because Mike was not sober at the time.
Mike,
and then she did.
Mike gets the weed from Peach.
Yeah, exactly.
She did. Yeah, she
Peach hardcore.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, in her heart of hearts as a dog, if that was possible, she would. I love that she thinks she's a guard dog. I love she's this big,
12 pounds.
What is she, a Shih Tzu or something?
Half Shih Tzu, half Bichon.
Yeah.
Adorable. She's great.
She's adorable.
Yeah.
But dude, when you come up to the house, she's like, "Brr!" Like Mike has had 3 other dogs. None of them
No,
We're like
not
her.
like that.
She acts like she's gonna kick your ass. Like it's
Yeah.
so funny.
Meanwhile, you could just punch
And
her.
then she sees
Oh, yeah.
who it is,
Very
and
easily.
it's the dumbest, like, because she knows you. So
Yeah.
then, like, you'll walk up and she'll see who it is, and then she runs up to you and lays on her back.
And
And it's
does the
like,
row.
hey, I'm really excited to see you. Never mind about that. I'm going to kill you stuff. But she does it too. It's so stupid.
Oh,
Like,
so
we'll
she's
be
a-
outside,
so
she'll
she's
be
a
on the
woman.
leash, and then it'll be like, all right, this dog's like a 500-pound bison murderer. And then it's just Peach, like, on her stupid.
Oh, she's just a girl.
All 12 pounds of her, and she's going up to this thing, like, trying to be like, "Rah, rah, rah." And it's like, it will think about biting you, and you'll be dead.
Yeah, it's
Right.
awesome.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
little dogs that are like that. And the funny thing is, dogs are so dumb that sometimes big dogs are like, oh, I guess she's in
Yeah.
charge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she must be in charge.
Yeah, man,
Those
that's
big
one- that's one
dogs are
pissed
like
off
the,
cat.
the beta males of the dog universe. Like, okay, well, she yelled, I guess I'll just do what she wants.
She overwhelmed Bradley just on pure
Energy.
drive alone.
Yeah.
Bradley literally submitted to her because he
Yep.
just didn't want to. He made her submit a bunch of times, and then after a while, she just kept coming after
She
her.
just
He was
got
like,
super determined.
and he was
Oh,
like,
motherfucker,
whatever.
now's my time.
yeah, he literally was like, I don't care, just stop. Like, I don't want to play anymore.
you could see her like formulate the strategy literally and be like,
Ford-
oh, I know what I'm going to
Ford
do.
is probably also like,
We'll get sick of this.
Bradley, I'm lonely.
Oh, dude, over the weekend we had them with
I saw the
Mouse.
picture of Bradley or whatever.
yeah, her mom and their dogs playing together is so funny because Ford's like, special. And he plays ref and just barks the whole time. So like having two dogs play is fine, but when the third dog only barks at it the whole time,
Like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's so annoying. And Ford's just, and then Peach is like, play with you, and Ford's like, "Grrr." It's so frustrating. He's
That's
such
jealous
a,
bitch.
yeah, dude, he's so weird. He just like,
Maybe he's gay.
yeah, no, that's the joke I make with Rachel sometimes. I was like, I know they're brothers, but maybe they tricked us and they're just gay lovers the whole time.
Well, I was gonna say they might be brothers, but I think Ford's at least gay.
Oh man,
Hey, Ford, why didn't you text me when you win those?
And Mexican.
And Mexican.
I don't know. I just added that, but it worked.
Yeah, no, he's German. But yeah.
Oh, they're very
Why
gay.
didn't you let me know you were leaving the house?
Oh man. But yeah, so what's it called? How much did you guys know about the Uvalde shooting, the one in Mexico?
I
Texas?
heard that there was a second shooter, or he was waiting for backup when he got caught.
I didn't hear that, but one of the crazy things is 19 cops stood in the hallway and did nothing.
Yeah, you would.
Apparently, the cops got their own kids out, and then walked. Like,
Oh, that's even worse.
yeah,
That's true. That's even worse.
yeah, I read
dude,
that somewhere.
People talk about like, oh, don't
On
talk
the
about
website.
conspiracy theories, blah, blah, blah. To me, that's the closest thing to that. I feel like I'm like, how did 19 cops just sit there?
Well, I think it's just
It's horrible.
government sponsored. Personally, I'll go there. I don't care.
Yeah,
I,
he has
I think it's those agencies, and I think they just prey on mentally unstable people, and then they just put them in that position, and then
yeah.
they have their talons in said law enforcement or said people that are supposed to intervene. And I don't see why it's that shocking to people, like based off of the history of false flags, history of all this stuff, like. And not to say I don't fucking know. I'm not there. Like I don't know for sure.
No,
Like
you
a lot of
do.
this.
You
No, I was there. I did. No, but like it always just boggled my mind that people weren't even open to like the idea. Like that's the weirder part to me. Is like, have you read a history book like at all?
Oh, dude, that's why that
Like,
one
what do you mean?
black lady
goes back
stand up.
to like people just don't want to do research. I think.
Well, how like
wanna be
it's
told
just
what the
all.
fuck
It's literally
thing.
all over history. Like it's false
Nope.
flags are one of the most constant things like in world history in general. Like, what did Germany do when they wanted to invade Poland? They got two German soldiers to dress up in Polish uniforms and broke their stupid radio station. And were like, Poland attacked the radio station.
Yeah. No, there's
We must fight.
what was the thing I was gonna say? Crap. Yeah, you're making me think of the Poland thing, and I can't remember. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
I consider myself more of a false fag because I'm not gay.
What about
False fag attack.
I'm gay. Just kidding. I mean, just kidding.
Okay, just kidding. Oh, sorry, I was doing a character there. Yeah, I'm joking.
Which one is it? Oh.
Which one is it? Now you're off
Are you
base.
offended, or are you
offended, or are you offended?
or are you trying to figure out how to compliment me?
Compliment me.
Because remember, I'm a hero.
Redecorating.
Fags.
False faggot.
It's a false fag attack. Dealt with this before.
We've dealt with this before. Oh, hold up those Versace shoes.
We'll be okay, baby.
He's
Just
not
touch my
interested.
pee-pee.
It's a false fag.
Get down here on my PP and I'll save you from these false fags.
I don't know. I haven't experimented enough. I don't know if it's false.
I don't know if it's false yet.
We
There's
have to
no one
do- we have
time
to do
I-
more tests.
Could be true fag.
I really wanted to get into that frat, but I felt kind of neutral that time. And it's a journey.
Yeah, I'm gender neutral. I
My name is gender neutral.
Oh man, how do we get
Gender
from the
neutral
Uvalde cop?
Barbie? She's confused. She's not sure.
Yeah, but so yeah, 19 either do you? That's the thing. Is it easier to believe that 19 cops were cowards and sat in the hallway, and literally listened
mean,
to children getting
Apparently,
shot?
apparently, like similar like things like this
They
have happened
believe-
in a lot of other shootings, or the cops just don't. They just stay outside. Like, is there an epidemic of shitty cops?
Probably, dude.
Like
Protocol.
like cowards. Like, I mean, I'm sure. Given like if you're faced, your job is just to walk around the school, and you're a cop, whatever.
Well, it's not their
You're
job. They
literally-
got called there.
Yeah.
These are cops in the
Well,
community.
apparently, yeah, still.
But
like,
it's a
apparently
very,
happened in other shootings too.
Order-oriented system too. Like for the state police, I think it is, or whatever. If you have too high of an IQ, they actually won't take you.
They want
yeah.
you. They want
Yep.
you to be like.
They don't want the type of people that are going to
think about what they're doing.
Yeah, it's the same concept with the military. So that way they can just sit there
Told
in
you.
obliviousness and be like, "Well, these kids might be getting shot, but I was a good boy and did my order.
Yeah.
Hats
Yeah,
off."
just
Not
Yeah.
supposed to do.
I mean, that's obviously the personality type
Told
that they're
you.
going after.
Yeah.
Told you.
It's pretty frustrating to see. But the fact is, it's like either 19 cowardly cops stood there. But that's the thing. It's hard for me to believe that someone who's a cop could sit there and listen to kids getting shot through a room and be like, "Nope,
They,
not going in."
They did a Columbine, and it was like a similar. They had none of the procedures or things, but they literally sat outside the fucking library, and those kids got shot, and they could have said "screw it" and went in.
Well,
That
there
night. Like,
wasn't there a pipe bomb that was supposed to be in there?
there were
Because one didn't go off. One, I think the one like.
Well, there-
didn't go off.
no, they were propane bombs. They were bomb.
No, one of
Things
them.
in the
No,
cafeteria bomb
I know
bombs.
for a fact that
Bomb
one
bomb.
did not go off. That's why they had to go into the library to like.
Well,
the-
neither of there were two bombs in the cafeteria. Neither one went off because if
Yeah, right.
even one went off, the library would have collapsed into
Right.
the.
Well, that's why they went.
cafeteria.
I'm saying that's why they went into the library because they had to like. That was like their backup. or
Well,
whatever
it
to
wasn't,
do,
but
or
they
whatever.
had an alternate entrance where they. I mean, that's under the predication that they could have, and they weren't immediately aware of those propane bombs were actually one of the, I think, last things they found. Because one of the last things the
Right.
shooters did before they died was go back downstairs and try to shoot the bombs so they would go off. But they
Oh,
also
really?
had an alternate entrance. Like they could have gotten a ladder from the fire department and gone up in the library and tried to defuse it faster. But
Mhm.
the orders, it was more the policy surrounding that at the time. It was very, very disengaged.
Yeah, people didn't.
That's
know
why
what to
it's
do.
disheartening now, though, to hear that the
Well, you
same
guys are
levels of disengagement are
Right.
still
Well,
happening.
you're actually feeding into what I was going to say. People were saying like, "Oh, maybe this is part of their orders. Maybe this is."
Yeah.
I think it was the New York Times was able to get their actual orders as cops, and it literally tells you like walk by victims. It doesn't matter. It's just like it lays it out. Your first order is to engage the shooter.
That's all. Yes. And that is
your
because of
first
Columbine.
duty. Because it could, even if there's a kid bleeding out there or
Dude.
anything like that, because he could be killing other people. So you have to ignore all the victims and go and
to
confront
serve
the shooter.
and protect.
And time
Yeah,
is of the essence
yeah,
in those situations,
right.
too, because there are a lot of injured and wounded people. And the sooner that you're able to disengage the shooter and
Right.
secure the area, the faster you're able to get all those wounded people and all those potential dying people medical attention.
Yeah, no, it's actually might be a blessing that I was gone for the 2 weeks of doing that, because when that happened, I remember I was like, I had rants that are in my head where I was like, yeah, I probably get kicked offline for it, because like I sit there and it's like my dad was a cop, my dad would have done that, my dad would have started shooting cops if they weren't going to go in there. Like
Yeah.
that's how, you know what I mean? Just because like you're a coward. Like some people literally say like
Well, I do the job.
they might have aided and abetted.
Yep.
If you're sitting there, dude, people's parents were trying to go in there and they were arresting them
And they don't
stopping
have
them.
that, like you're saying, too, because that policy has been changed. They don't have the same luxury that like the Columbine cops had at the time, where their policy was one of sweep every room and disengage, and
You just do it,
that
right.
wasn't the current policy.
And the thing is, they keep changing the narrative and saying what people
They should just
said.
get
They're
rid
like,
of it.
oh no, they told them that all of a sudden it was switched to a kidnapping thing. And it's like, it's not kidnapping when you hear pop. Wah! Oh my goodness, I'm dying. And you're getting phone calls from kids. That's the thing. Play those phone calls.
Yeah.
Watch how quickly people freak out if you play the 911 phone calls of those kids calling in, being like, send the cops. Like, there's people literally, there's a guy in here shooting us, killing. Like, it's crazy to me. The fact that cops did that, like, that's what happened. Even the Border Patrol was told to stand down. And then after a half hour, the people who went in there and did it just broke. They were like, no, we're doing it. We're going in. And it's like, that's the whole thing that, like, it's funny because those people recognized it. And to me, that's almost what America needs to do, like with the Constitution that's happening. Like,
You gotta get rid of all the
at a
guns.
certain point, you just go like, no, this doesn't follow the thing that I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to lose everything. Like, you have to be willing to lose your life. You also have to be willing to lose the fact that you might go in there and things might happen and the sheriff might go, oh my goodness, I told you to stand down. It's like, dude, I don't stand down.
That's the part that I think is the most like telling thing, man. Is you need people who are willing to give up how comfortable they are, to keep things good for people.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because you would
But-
think that you have the ability now, like, to do the right thing more than ever when you have, you know, give, send, go, and you have, you know, crowdfunding and stuff like that, and the ability to do something like that. If you were to go in there and do something, and they were all of a sudden like, "Oh, you're fired," if you stopped a school shooting, you know what I mean, and you stop someone from doing something that horrible, and then you get fired, dude, the community's going to rally around you. Like, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind if one of those cops broke in there and then they tried to say that he created something else and then he just came out and did a public thing being like, no one was doing anything. I went in there. I did the best I could because I couldn't stand hearing kids do that.
Just like that guy that like got up out of his haircut and literally like went in and got like, because his wife was a teacher there and his daughter attended the school.
Yeah.
So his wife texted him while he was getting his haircut, and he took the barber,
shotgun, yeah.
with him, like mid haircut, and went to the school and got his wife and daughter out. And that was just, he was like an off duty agency, like 3-letter agency person.
Yeah, I think he's Border Patrol too. But yeah, that's what's crazy too when you sit there and you think that people,
but that guy, you know, like that guy should be like being lauded all over the when you see what like the things that they choose to magnify in these events, and not just like even to mention like what Cantz was talking about, which is like something I know that you know is a little risky on YouTube, but like the fact that a lot of these people that do these shootings, there's one thing that they all have in common, no matter what kind of beliefs they have, is that we're all on some kind of like antidepressant medication that messes with your brain chemistry. And these people are like,
nope, gotta go after the guns.
no one talks about how these doctors are given carte blanche to make prescriptions like available to people,
to make
like,
cocktails out of people's
if
brains.
you've ever been to a psychiatrist, you understand that it's so backwards, it blows my mind. And I know this personally because of what they did to my mom. Like, when you go to a psychiatrist, you talk to the psychiatrist is the one that can administer medication. Psychologist is the one that's like a shrink where they talk to you and teach you coping mechanisms and like mental stuff. So when you go to a psychiatrist, you talk to him for 15 minutes. That's it. That's all you get with a psychiatrist, 15 minutes. And they make a determination in 15 minutes. You see the psychiatrist like once every 6 months.
Yeah.
Once for 15 minutes. And then they can make a determination of what medications you need, what levels they need to be at, and they don't change them again until 6 months from then. And it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. It should be reversed. Like, you should be going to the psychiatrist like
once a week,
and they should be like, how are you feeling now?
Especially
how are you feeling
if, like,
now?
you have like previous problems or like some kind of track history of like.
But they give these people
weird
these
or whatever.
medications, and Rachel is a perfect example of someone that get their parent no offense if Rachel's mom ever watches this, which I highly doubt she will, because whatever. She like didn't want to parent her kid. So, and I'm not saying she didn't try, but like her method of when her daughter had problems was to go to a doctor and just listen to whatever they said. And it's just like this trust that like this generation had in medical professionals that is like so misplaced. But
I think it's because like technology is like sped up so much in the past 50 years that like there are a lot of good advancements that we've become lazy and just kind of like just assume
I think it's dude, it's
or they all know what they're doing kind of thing.
I think it's something too where it's you
and
don't
our parents' generation specifically with that.
well you don't too like listen look at like I hate to be so cheesy but your buddy what's his name Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum. The line that he had where it's just like your scientists are so obsessed
with whether or not they could, they'd never stop thinking
if they should.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like with the medications,
it's money, dude, it's money,
right?
Dude,
But that's what I was trying to get at with
so
the
gigantic.
the medicine that they're giving kids, and Rachel like was given it at such a young age, her brain wasn't even fully developed. So then you're administering these chemicals like
I feel like that shouldn't be
fakely,
legal.
and these people. Well, I'm just saying, like all these shooters have
like
this in
14.
common, and no one talks about what they should be doing to regulate the pharmaceutical industry.
Nope, get rid of the guns.
Yeah, get rid of the guns. The thing's just going to protect people. They put that stuff
the thing that the father,
founding father,
no, the father from the barbershop borrowed from the barber,
right,
to save his family.
Yeah.
Like there are so many uses as far as self-defense goes that fly under the radar so many times.
It's not. That's the thing. That's the reason the Constitution has it there, because it's not. It's not even just a constitutional right. It's a natural right.
It's a necessary right. They really wanted to make sure people had guns, or when the government got too crazy, and they're like, look, you can say you're going to do,
because they knew what happened in England,
right? So that's why they were like, look, you guys are getting a little wild right now, and and they would just kind of like see this, see what I have here, and
No, but self defense is a natural. It's a natural right, because it's one of those things that if someone attacks you, no one in their right mind goes, "How dare you defend yourself, idiot?" Yeah. How dare? Why would you do that?
Rittenhouse.
How dare?
Yeah, unless you're caught. But that's the thing. That's what, dude. That's because we've gone from a Christian moral framework to there's no moral framework. They don't even have a. I don't even know what their framework is besides whatever is anti.
Cool. They don't know.
Babylonian.
Yeah,
Making up.
Sonny, dude. I've never seen
Egyptian.
anything.
Well,
I've never
as
seen
far as,
anything.
yeah.
So just the fact that people hold these beliefs that all contradict each other so often, it's
Yep.
like, how can you believe these things?
Well, dude, I mean that's that, and I talked. It's funny that me and Gina kind of talk about this all the time. Is about what Donald Trump did to this country, and it's not that he was horrible, orange man, bad man, did a horrible thing. It's every classic traditional American conservative value was lumped into him, and then they just did the media like a smear of him and made everyone hate him. So now it's just like,
and anyone who supports him,
right? But by
Or
Doesn't hate him,
or who doesn't want to be crazy liberal.
right.
Yeah.
But my point was, when you associate every normal, like very reasonable, like conservative belief with him, make everyone hate him by virtue. They hate all of the things that are best for them, and they start supporting things that they never ever would have supported. Like, dude, even like Bill Clinton and stuff, like the things that they were proposing back in like the mid and late 90s that they wanted to do are like so much more conservative now than even some of the Republican things, even things that Trump said. Like, he and Bill Clinton had similar like politics, and no one wants to talk about how just because the time, and it's something that Tim Pool reported on, man, is like as time goes on, things just get more progressive and more left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the conservative value is literally just like what used to be like liberal 25 years before, like what they used to believe. And it's just kind of like it's a sliding scale of just progressively getting more and more liberal, more and more progressive. And
It's not even liberal though, because they're authoritarian. That's the thing. Liberal doesn't even mean what it
Well,
used to. We're guilty of
yeah.
using it in that way too. But yeah, No,
But it's the whole purposeful like projection and disassociation that goes into like because these people have gone so extreme and so far left, and then like I don't know, like people like me or you or whoever, like I'm sitting there like, wait, I'm not like an old wrinkled Louisiana racist sitting on my porch with like a shotgun
Not yet.
yelling the N-word or whatever. Like I think
a lot of
drugs
people
should
are
be
not.
legal. Like I'm fine with gay marriage. I don't care. You're gay. You want to get married? Get married. It doesn't affect me. Like
Yeah, exactly.
so. Like when you start to look at your own, like have I gotten probably more fiscally conservative as I've gotten older? Sure. And have I gotten more, conservative with some things? Probably, due to the Obama administration specifically, because I saw like the downsides of like a lot of the broken promises and the, especially obviously with the Obamacare and the health insurance, like, yeah, you get some life experience and, I mean, that's usually how it goes anyway. That's always how it's gone. You're more that like wide-eyed idealist when you're younger, and then you get more real kind of as you get older. But like, the problem is it's framed in a way, and it's like, no, you guys are nutso left to a point where it's fascist, and there isn't a Louisiana dude on the bench like shooting.
They call no the dude.
That's the problem. Is like there's this whole like false image of like the alt-right, and it doesn't really exist anymore.
No, there's no. It's not.
Not to say that it's like obviously, yeah, sure.
It's
There's
not that it doesn't exist. It just has no institutional power because every single Republican,
Well,
as
that's
soon as
what I
someone
mean.
starts saying
Yeah.
something racist,
Yeah.
every conservative, I shouldn't even say because I don't even consider myself a Republican, but right now there's not a single Democrat I like besides Tulsi Gabbard. But
Tulsi Gabbard's good.
But when you look at that, it's like the alt right has no institutional power. Everyone knows how to box out the alt right, and it's like the alt left is just so loud, and it's like you just wish the moderates on the left would just be like, we aren't these. Yeah, well,
that's what I meant. I meant like institutionally. Like I'm not saying those alt-righters don't exist at all, but they're not organized really in any form at this point. They have zero institutional pull or political pull.
It all ties back to Donald Trump. So
and then it also
if they can smear him by creating this boogeyman of a person as a supporter or a group of supporters, then why wouldn't they?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's classic.
The only motivation behind it.
It's almost one of those things where it's like now I look at it, it's like you almost wish Donald Trump was actually hard right because
but it's also those
because then they wouldn't be as crazy because they've just because Donald Trump started standing up for just normal things. Now people who are left, it's like, well, can't agree with him.
That's what I was trying to say, though, man. Yeah. The fact that like if there was one conspiracy theory that like kind of makes a lot of sense is that he was a plant so that he could like take the paradigm of what people were willing to accept.
Dude,
and take it to like a crazy degree.
I've said that he's not normally Republican.
I'm just saying
he's a moderate. He's a moderate lefty.
Yeah,
that's literally what he was. He was. He would be what I would consider a good Democrat president, where you're sitting there, you're like, all right, like. I lean more conservative. Back in the day when I was, the funny thing is, he's everything that almost I wanted Obama to be.
But if you go back to 16, it's also just an inability to take accountability from the left and go like, you pick the person to run, Hillary obviously in 16, that like 3/4 of your own party don't fucking like.
Then you
screwed over arrogant enough. And you fucked over Bernie consciously in your own system, your own way, based off your own stuff. And then like back then, if we go back to 16, we don't have any of the history of what occurred or anything. Like it's the orange guy from The Apprentice. So and you were so arrogant that you thought, and I mean, if he ran versus a Japanese sex doll in 2016, the sex doll probably would have won.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. Like, I mean, she is just the one person you did not want to pick because nobody fucking likes her.
Yeah, people have been like...
Including her own party. Nobody likes her.
Because of what she did and how dirty she is and how she even treats...
Because they're desperate, so they're just going for the biggest name possible.
Well, dude, the whole thing with her thing is it's her time.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That was during the whole Me Too movement, too, so the scope of, like, was fixed on women. general. I think.
No, and they're going to play on the identity politic piece
Right.
of it the same way they did with Obama. And it's like, this is a huge deal. It's like first black president. But it's like, in reality, I want whoever's going to be the best president be president. I don't think of that white or black.
If he happens to be black, that's
If
cool.
the best guy is
Exactly.
black, that's awesome. I'll vote for the best guy, and he will be black, and I'll vote for him. It's not, or if the best person's a woman, I'd vote for the
To
woman.
me, that's the
labels,
only
man.
time that should come in is everything's an exact lock tie. If you're
Yeah.
sitting there and you're like, this is the best person for these two people are completely indistinguishable. You know what? Let's give it to the black guy because black guy isn't. That's the only time I could see it. If it's an absolute dead tie.
If they're like the same, like exact morals and like and value, but you're like, you know what? We've had white presidents forever. Let's get like a different, because maybe you're trying to be that understanding that it's like, oh, this is a different opinion.
Yeah.
This person grew up different. They have different like understanding of life and a different angle on life. So like maybe we'll get something we haven't had yet. But
Like tie goes to the black guy.
Right.
Tie goes to the woman. Fine. I'm fine with that. If it's a tie.
It would never,
But when it's
it
not-
never would be though.
But it's not. That's the thing. It's
And
not a
especially
tie.
now. It's so polarized that way.
And then it was very clearly, concisely planned to a point where at the end of the day, like other than the little bit of whatever you got from his speaking and his rallies and his whatever and the debates like leading up to it, which was not a lot really at the time. Like, and then he was also purposely running in a sense that he was kind of purposely getting bad publicity and pushing the envelope because he ran in a Donald Trump type way, which was very intelligent because he realized he's like, nobody fucking likes this lady, and any way I can get my name in anything just
Yeah,
boosts
which is
that.
something
Like,
he's already
that's a
good at
very
anyway.
Trump way to run.
Yes.
So much so that he should have stopped. Like somebody
he got a
should have
little
gone to the
carried away.
guy and gone like, dude, you won. You don't have to do the like any press thing anymore. But
Well, that's what.
but then you had these idiots on CNN and MSNBC and all these stupid reporter women going like, well, now we're all in big trouble. And it's like, you don't even know what he's going to do.
Yep.
He's been the president for, well, he's not even inaugurated yet, but he's been the president-elect for 40 minutes. You don't know what he's going to do.
That one girl crying, someone
Yeah.
needs to fix this now.
And then, I mean, I think if you really look objectively, like at what he did, I mean, especially, I mean, look at the COVID thing and how unprecedented that was. Like, look at the monkey wrenches that purposely, probably a lot of it, obviously, from them that got thrown into it. But look at the first couple years. I mean,
dude, you know what's crazy to me is the more and more, besides Gina,
Doing
like the
real
more and more
good.
I talk to, it seems like black people, the more and more I'm like, dude, Trump had spoke to them in a way that I'm so surprised. Like,
because he called out a lot of BS, and
Yeah.
they are, you know, if there's one group of people that is constantly like used by the political system, it's black people, because like they're just like,
yeah.
you know, they're used as like an edge vote, or they're used as like something, you know, like we'll appeal to that because that's, you know, especially right now, like there's nothing, I mean, except, you know, Prime Month, but like, again, it's just, even that, again, it's always just an appeal to, you know.
And you you
fake.
get into the disservice that they're done by the whole like leftist liberal plantation thing, where it's like, we'll give you your little bit, but never be successful or never try. Like nobody
Well,
talks about
then they
that.
have
Where
a-
it's like,
then they
here's a
have
bunch
what?
of assistance and here's a bunch
Yep.
of disincentivation to not want to like
Have a
ever
family.
improve or do it like a different way. Like, and people, there's
black mothers
plenty of
are
black
literally-
people that I've talked to that see that.
Single black mothers are like incentivized to like not get married because they get more benefits.
oh yeah.
Like,
What?
it's-
No,
Did you hear? Yo, so
never.
it's Pride Month, right? So I have a couple things about this. So it's Pride Month. So you have
Here I am.
So here's the first thing. Black people get February, which come on, that's
Shortest
really
month.
messed. They give them the shortest month,
of the year.
and then
baby.
and then we
Happiest month
and then
of
we
the year,
give
too.
then we give gays
yeah.
we give them June, which if you're a little kid, that's like the best month.
Best
That's
month.
yeah, it's the best month you get out of school.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny though? Right now, there's people trolling. Do you know what next month's called now?
Oh God.
MAGA month.
Oh yeah.
People are taking. Do you know how amazing that is?
That's
People
awesome.
are literally making it MAGA
my
month.
birthday month.
But dude,
greatest
dude, people are gonna start being. Dude, I already started thinking of the attacks they're gonna have. They're gonna be like, the reason they
Wow.
picked it is because it's a
What a
white.
month.
It's a white man's month and it's
That was bad.
31 days, which has more than both those
Wow.
days,
Yeah.
more than both those months. It's longer than February. It's longer than
And I don't know if you
June.
could tell by my haircut. But white man's month should be the longest.
But dude, you know how the one dumb stand up joke I have is what's Hitler's favorite month? It's July. And so, but that's, I literally feel like you're going to have, I really have a feeling you're going to have, thank you. No, but I really do think you're going to have people being like, that's the reason it's called that, because alt-writers know it's called July. And it's like,
agree.
Yeah, Trump has
Agree with you.
Jewish grandchildren. Like, that's the thing that's always so upsetting. He has Jewish grandchildren, which he takes pictures with, he loves, spends tons of time with. And like, if he was a true Nazi, he would be like, get these away from me. Like, if they didn't care. Like, that's like, if you've ever actually had someone who's racist and they
like,
have
the Nazis are such like an easy thing to point to, like as like a definition of evil. So like it's just slapped onto them. So like as soon as you put the word Nazi in it,
yeah. But ironically enough, the
Nazis
whole,
are socialists.
Yeah. Well, and the whole Stalinism, communism thing was just going on directly, like at the same exact time. But yet they always forget that in any of our academic criteria or schoolings. Or
who was it?
How much did you learn about like I'll ask you guys, how much did you learn about communism and communism?
They don't teach about Russia.
No, of course.
No, my dad taught me about communism.
Of course.
Yeah. No, who was it? Who was the general who was like, we should just keep going?
MacArthur.
Was it
General
MacArthur?
MacArthur was like, you want to just fight him now? We're already over here.
Yeah.
That's literally what he was like.
And he was right.
And then, he was right. Yeah.
And then guess what? And
that led to a bunch of series of retarded fucking quasi-wars because the nuke got invented and everybody was scared to death because they saw that in Japan and they were like, all right, well, we're not going to fight directly, but
was MacArthur also
come here and you guys come here and quasi?
MacArthur was the guy that was retook the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, no, was MacArthur also Korea too?
I don't think so.
No, he was American.
No,
no. Do you remember that? But dude, remember we won the Korean War, and then that general decided to be like, why don't we just go into China? And then that's how we got our butts completely kicked back to the 38th parallel or 48, whatever parallel.
I don't know if that was MacArthur or not. That's a good question.
But isn't that funny that then we were like, oh no, we shouldn't do it with this war. We'll do it this war, and then China was just like immediately kicked their butt all the way back to the 58th or whatever. I forget what parallel, but
how
right back to being a neutral war.
How did they think that was a good idea? How about what they did with Berlin? Like, how did they think that was a good idea? Like, all right, we're just going to divide this city sitting here into four. Like, who sits there and does that?
Also,
that's a good idea.
How did France got taken over in 2 weeks and they somehow weaseled their way into getting a section of that? It makes no sense. Like, dude, unarmed Jews got taken over harder. Like, they put up more of a fight than the French army during World War II.
Well, you know what that is? Me and Emmerich have this joke because we, big soccer fans. We do the game called the Maginot Line, which is because. So, do you know what the Maginot Line is?
None of us have any clue what the Maginot.
So the Maginot Line is like this. There's this like this fortification that France was working on. It was like all these like trenches and stuff that were going across their border with Germany, but they didn't extend it up through Belgium to the coast. So Germany could literally just do exactly what they did, which is go through Belgium and then just destroy Belgium and then go into France. So we play the game of France versus Belgium all the time. Because we call it the Maginot Line.
Oh, okay.
Because France is just like, what the hell, Belgium? Like, just like you pretty much just like you couldn't do this. Like it was like a third of the life that we did it.
Well, and the funny thing is too, everybody I've ever talked to that's like taken trips to France and gone to France is like said how much they fucking despise us, and it's like, for what? Bailing you out every fucking time? What are you talking about?
Oh, and then Vietnam, which is literally a French started thing, and then we got too involved, and we were like, we never lose. That's literally what happened. The French pulled out, and we're like, no, we're gonna stay, and it's like the French drug us into that war too. Because people don't know, don't know crap.
That was like a quasi continuation of the Korean War, though, because those are all.
Oh, it was proxy war.
Yeah, they were all extensions of communism versus America.
That's what's kind of happening right now, in a way, if you really think about it. Again, we're back to We're in the Cold War. We just don't even recognize it.
Because it's informational because of the internet.
Yeah, well, then there's
in the
Ukraine.
cold information war.
Trick truck.
Yeah, no, and then we have Ukraine. You know what I mean? We have the Ukraine crap going on, which is totally.
If Taiwan about to blow up into.
Yeah.
Oh,
about to blow up. Yeah.
China. They just love war, man. It's because they want to be able to do all these things. Like, dude, gas raised for a year under Biden like crazy. And then all of a sudden they're like, it's because of the war in Ukraine. And you're like, no, that's not an excuse. Yeah, it might be making it worse.
Yeah, what's
I'll-
the first thing he did when he got in office?
Yeah. and
Keystone Pipeline immediately.
Yeah.
It was like first week.
shut it down.
Yep.
And it's funny because, dude, I sent you a text earlier today too, talking about stuff like this, or I saw a post about these lefties and these like liberal people that are like, well, actually, gas prices are this high in Europe, and it's
yeah.
not just Joe Biden, and like talking about how it's not the president that sets gas price. Did you know that companies have record profits? And I was like, I sent a text to
Yes.
Vinny or explaining earlier today. It's like, all right, so let's just say that you're right. All right. The companies have record profits for 50 years, like the highest profits they've ever had in 50 years. And inflation is the highest it's been in 40 years. So how are those two things allowed to happen? And it's just like, well, did you ever think maybe like these corporations are now like in bed with the president that's in the office? So they're like just allowed to get away with whatever the hell they want. Whereas like when like the guy that wasn't popular at all and was like deregulating everything and like incentivizing these companies to make things like more affordable for America because it was more affordable for them. Like, do you think that might have anything to do with these companies making record profits? Is the fact that like they have excuses to boost the cost of everything that they want besides inflation just because they probably have more regulations on things, because what Democrats usually do is regulate things more and make it tougher for companies, and they have to pay higher taxes and jump through more loopholes to make the products that they make. So it's just like, again, man, it's so funny that these people have no idea like how the real world works, and they just like say, oh well, if Donald Trump did this, then it's bad, and even though everything good while he president,
I agree.
Wrong opinion.
he said mean thing on Twitter's.
Oh, bad burden.
No,
He
but
said,
dude,
"Oh,
the thing
you
that's crazy
forgot."
is,
Said
yes,
bad
okay,
things.
so Biden can't control gas. What did Trump do when the oil was getting destroyed during COVID? When oil was, I think, like negative $40 a barrel, they would give you $40 to take a barrel of oil. And all of a sudden everyone's like, you can't do this. This is gonna be horrible. What did he do? He was able to limit the supply of
Yep.
oil
Yeah, I remember that.
so that all these companies didn't go out of business. And so that all these things. So just think about it. Now price is too high. So what do? Make more oil. It's that simple.
Yeah.
We're like, it's such a dumb. I think I've said it every podcast, but literally just make more oil.
No.
Just refine more oil. It fixes
No, Native American needs that spot.
Well, yeah, that's the
You
thing
might
again when
hurt
people
a
say,
lot
"Oh,
of
well, Joe
Native
Biden like
Americans.
cutting off the Keystone Pipeline didn't stop oil production because it wasn't transporting oil." It's like, but it did affect.
speculative pricing.
Well, it did affect it because they
Well, the oil
knew
market's not speculative.
because they knew in the future there was going to be less.
yeah.
That's what that meant. Just because it wasn't transporting oil then doesn't mean it couldn't affect the price currently. Because if you shut it down, they know in future less oil than we plan
Price
to
go
have
up.
in future.
Yep.
So price go up, we buy now. Price go up now.
Yep.
Right.
No, dude, it's that whole thing, supply and demand. It's so stupid.
Yeah, we should just separate.
Yeah. No, we really should. It's
separate.
it's sad because people immediately. The thing is, even if we try to do a peaceful divorce, even if red states and
Yeah.
blue states like we're the opposite way, the blue states are going to do no, and they're just going to try and take everything because you're going to be like, these are our weapons, and they're going to be like, no, they're our
No.
weapons. And if you let them have the weapons, what are they going to do? As soon as they need something, they're going to try and use it to get what they want.
These are our weapons, and if you don't vote for our gun control, we're gonna fucking shoot you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you don't
That's the
believe that,
It's not even. That's why I love that argument of not. It's not even gun control. It's not even gun control. It's gun consolidation. They just
of
want to put
course,
gun like
yeah.
it's not like
it's gun limiting. What it is? It's get ready for China to invade gun limiting.
it's not even that, dude. It's gun centralization where it's like, well, who's gonna have the guns? Like, oh, well, the government will have all the guns because they'll come and take it away. And what they're against
Cop have
gun. Yeah, they're against gun violence. But to enforce these laws, you're gonna have to go door to door.
Yeah.
And have unnecessary gun violence because there's going to be people who are sitting there who are
course.
like out of my cold
Yeah.
dead hands. That's the thing that's so crazy. And it's like, yeah, stop gun violence by
Sounds like a
starting
blast.
more gun violence. And then you have the left who doesn't even understand. They're like, you know that like if this were to really happen, you'd be shooting police officers and military. And it's like, why does that surprise you? Guys hate those people.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they just have a relative flexible
Yeah.
view of people depending on whatever it is they want to do.
You say what I like, you
Yeah.
good. You just say I don't like, you bad.
Yes.
Well, that's why, dude. That's why it's like a religion, man. All of a sudden, it's like
Yeah.
I agree with 99%. I don't agree with the one thing, and it's like you're out.
It's like the Jim Jones shit, where it's like, okay, yeah, we're just a regular church. Okay, sign over all your material possessions, give me all your money. Okay,
Why?
we're gonna move to South America now, and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah.
By the way, I make Kool-Aid.
Okay, the defectors are coming. It's all their fault. Shoot them.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
a very slippery slope.
It's a secular religion of wokeness.
Very slippery.
That's a,
very
dude. Actually, that's a great
slippery.
idea. We should make the Church
Oh.
of Wokeness.
Oh.
Do the Ten Commandments.
There's already a
Yeah.
subreddit called the Church of COVID, which is fantastic.
But the Church of Wokeness would be great because that's really what it is. We could write out their 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not be a straight white Trump supporting male.
If
10
dude,
suggestions that you have to believe.
No, that's it.
The
That's
10.
it.
That's what
That's
it's more
That's
like.
the only one.
What?
That's the only one.
Yeah. No other gods before Obama.
No other gods before me.
Because that's the thing. It's crazy is they can't even recognize. They can't even.
not make fun of Joe Biden. Just
Yeah. Thou shalt not recognize Joe Biden's mental decline.
Thou shalt hate PP.
Yeah. Exactly.
hey all PP.
Hate all PP.
Unless
Unless it's on
gay.
beautiful woman.
Unless hate genders.
I
it's
also remember
gay.
the holy day, Juneteenth.
Love
Yeah.
beautiful woman PP.
We have our month.
Hate genders.
Hate genders. Beautiful woman PP. I love.
She has the most beautiful
Oh,
PP.
it's so beautiful.
That PP won a gold medal.
PP is a gold medal PP. A beautiful lady.
Still feminine.
Still beautiful feminine.
Most feminine PP.
Large veiny feminine PP.
Just say me.
Hi, I'd like to show you my large veiny feminine PP.
Go to the gynecologist.
I hope you're insured.
What's wrong with my vagina? Well, it's a penis.
It's a very large.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna sue
No, I'm a
you.
beautiful girl.
Transgender woman sues gynecologist for discriminating against her penis.
Canada, dude, in Canada.
Oh god.
There
here
was
we
the
go.
dude who sued the waxing place because they wouldn't give him Brazilian wax because he was like, I want a Brazilian bikini wax. And they were like, you're a dude.
You have
We only do women. And he was like, how dare you?
you have a penis.
My butthole has just as much right as any
Yes.
other butthole to get a Brazilian.
I have a beautiful lady wiener.
Now you take that duct tape and put it on my ass.
Hey kids, look at my beautiful lady wiener.
This is my.
No, it's for your education. You have to look at it.
I wrote roll credits.
Dun, dun, dun.
Look at my
Think really
beautiful
fast.
lady wiener.
Well, on that note,
all lady wieners are
Yeah.
beautiful.
So follow at Post Office Mike. Keep updated on beautiful lady
how long has it-
wiener.
How long has it
Yeah.
been going?
Huh?
How long has it been?
I have absolutely no clue.
I think it's been a good chunk of time. Yeah, I don't know.
It's definitely been like probably an hour and a half, close to maybe two.
I
Yeah.
think it's over too.
It's
You're
not
insured.
over, too.
Hope
It's
you're-
right at 150.
Yeah, Mike knows.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
Glad
close.
Somebody knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
'Cause I
no.
certainly don't.
Yeah, no, but
Well, I know I have beautiful lady wiener.
beautiful.
And then, then it gets into that whole retarded ideologue of like, you have to be attracted to what we think. And it's like, what are you talking about?
well, you're
That's
transphobic.
biological at that point.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
trans-
control when my little PP wants to do a dance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like what I like.
We should fight for your.
But then it's the circular thinking again, because what's it called? Like all beautiful guy, girl, women go, we like what we like, but you don't like what you like.
Should we just? I think to defend against it, we might just have to start
Yeah.
identifying as like, I'm a trans woman who is into men.
I transitioned very early.
Yeah, I'm a trans woman I'm a trans woman who identifies as a man.
Yes.
There we go. Then that way.
That is beautiful. Like Notebook of Right Thing. What a beautiful story.
It's brave.
So brave.
So brave.
Wow, so brave.
Trump, dude, that's trans Trump. I can't. It sucks that they got stolen. It's so perfect though. I'm the hottest woman.
I'm the hottest woman.
Hottest woman. I have the best vagina.
I had the best vagina.
Maybe too good.
Maybe too good. It might be too good.
Mr. Michael Harold is asking if anyone wants anything from Wawa.
I'm good. I think I can't
What?
think of anything.
I'm fine.
What?
Yeah.
Thank you though.
Other Mike?
No.
me?
No,
Yes.
yeah.
I would never support evil corporation like Wawa. Let's say Hoagie Fest.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, wow, Hoagie Fest. Say a rainbow on the picture. I'm a good person again.
I didn't order a gay sandwich.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't have a Ukraine flag in window. What's wrong with Wawa?
Oh, now I'm gonna just steal from there, but still take stuff from Wawa because I'm a good person.
Ooh, these
Nothing to do what I want.
One thing I want.
You say
Don't
one
want
thing I
not
want.
have the thing I want.
You have to admit it's pretty funny that that the Middle Eastern things during Gay Month, during Pride Month,
Yeah, no,
they don't
not a,
change any of their stuff because everything's rainbow except for in the Middle East, because in the Middle East
yeah.
they'll literally start killing you. Yet then they're all pro Islam, and you're like, dude,
Yep.
the rights for the people that you guys don't see, like these things, like they want things to coexist that literally can't.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's
Makes
hard.
no sense.
We want water and oil to mix, and if you don't think and believe that, then you're
Fuck you.
racist.
Well, that's why when they say America, they're like America's the most horrible place to be gay, and you're like, dude, go to Saudi Arabia and be gay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like, oh yes, let's take it to the top of this building.
Go to Jamaica and be gay. They hate you there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like,
I just
like
love the
making out with them, like,
Quran.
You're not.
It's no,
Yeah,
it's
I'm-
because it's when people are talking over each other, it will prioritize.
the-
mine's been like wonky.
It's
No,
also
we have
the
yours on the
pressure that
lowest
you put on
priority.
the mic. It's how like your voice is projecting towards the mic.
I'm talking the same volume.
Dude, it has nothing to do with it. It has to do when you talk over each other, it'll drop out. That's what happens. That's what's
Yes.
happening.
I don't know. Mine's been doing this since the beginning.
I heard you
No,
fine. It's been it's your
you
headphones.
also you move when you talk a lot, and your voice.
Still like
How much
retardedly
force
close
you're
to the
putting?
mic.
Yeah, you should.
You haven't
be.
been dropping it. It's because when people talk over you, it'll cut your headphones out. Mine usually does that. Mine was like that a lot, and I just ignored it. Because trust me, it's fine. When you watch it on the thing, you'll be good.
You're
All I
Serbian,
didn't
so
say
they gave you the
anything was-
cheapest microphone. We just assumed that naturally you wouldn't make the connection. I'm sorry.
Wouldn't want to be heard.
Wouldn't want to be. I
Next time, Goran will just get a cup and a string.
I'm just so glad I have a chair. I'm so glad I have a chair, America.
in America,
Apparently I'm Italian now.
chair I like, as many as I want in room.
I don't know what accent that was.
I just love that you're.
Me and Mike came up with that at
Yeah,
Vinny's
that's
party.
I love how retarded this is, just for the fact that you are American. You're not even.
Well, that's what makes the joke.
You
Yeah,
just
of course.
you just said your
He's the
last
truth teller.
your
You're so
last name
American.
is just really hard, and you look like you could. Sometimes you look like you could be partly Middle Eastern.
May or
So
may
then
not-
we're
may or
just.
may not have a
Eyebrows.
vest on.
It's the super bushy eyebrows.
Goran is so American. He blew a fuse in the basement by like running like 20 different American appliances
Oh,
while
yeah.
probably playing "Proud to Be an American" as he was running like the air fryer. It was amazing.
I just wonder how your parents would feel that we call
What
you.
else do you move to America for?
Yeah.
Your parents would be like, "No, we
Not to
move
be
here
gay,
so he'd be
apparently.
American, man."
He good American man.
They're more like,
get
"Fuck that coffee place, we're going to America."
in America.
Yeah, Serbia. What's it called? We could go there and live like kings.
I can pick any cell phone.
This one is not the flip phone.
I still don't know language well. Cell phone very confusing.
Apparently I'm-
So
apparently I'm
shiny
Andy
and nice.
Kaufman.
I love America.
In
Thank
America.
you for America.
You can have as many food as you want.
Why am I Italian?
I can choose condiment and which one I like on the food.
I love how we've gone completely off the rails.
Well, as we should, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it was better than ending in a technical difficulty. That's our big closer. Like, not sure if it's working.
Hello?
That'll get them going.
My favorite part was the technical difficulty.
Yeah, my favorite part was the retard staring at the microphone. And,
Hello?
There's somebody
That's
in
a
there. I
great
hear them.
closer.
Yeah. But
Remember when the foreign guy couldn't work the microphone?
that was my favorite part.
My favorite part. I like that fucker. I like that crazy Serbian bastard. He's all right.
He's all right. He can be let in.
Yeah, nice lady.
I'd let him in.
Well, you have an open
Oh.
seat for the next podcast forever.
Yo, do you remember when we were going to go to the people who have the hate it has no home here houses?
Yeah.
And have you knock and ask if you could live there? Dressed up in all the garbage, and then immediately you get in there, just
I
start
must
being
live
like,
here and also take your wife and your daughter.
exactly. Just start immediately being
Very sexually, very quickly. I take wife and daughter. Oh, hate that. Oh, unless you hate that. You don't hate that, dude.
no, even
Oh, Goran's India.
Of Indian, Italian, and
I started out as
Where the
Middle
fuck
Eastern, and
ever
then I was
was.
just like, oh, no.
in Pakistan, I would become
Oh, great.
Just like that video I sent you earlier.
Yeah.
one.
You will give
How
me
much
a
is
daughter.
this? 149. I have 50p. Fuck you, Boston. You don't remember that?
I don't watch your videos.
Oh man. Anyone else have anything? It seems like we're getting pretty close to wrapping it up. Anyone's got
Feels
any?
that way.
Yeah, we
I'm good.
evolved into.
Yeah,
some pretty
thanks
good
for having me
Yeah.
on and this foreign guy over here.
Anything you wanna
Cheers.
plug or say? Post office. You can follow Mike at
Yeah, follow me at Post Office Mike. It's pretty much work with these guys mixed with work with my really funny and super multi-talented buddy Dread Solo, who's a nice sober guy lady. He's a really funny guy. Dread Solo. You're probably not watching this, but if you are, you're a terrorist. And
yeah. Oh, he's got the tattoo thing that just came
yeah,
out.
no, he's killing it. Yeah, I'm really happy for him. He really like busted his ass to get that going. So yeah, all love for
What is it,
him.
like his
We
own
should have him
tattoo?
on.
What
That'd
is
be
it?
awesome. Yeah. Now I sent him a message earlier today. I think he's super busy though because he's in that process, like where
Yeah.
he's at with
Is he making
everything.
a tattoo like
We can just get all of his rapper friends on here and get them to.
Oh yeah, no, no. That's the cool part though about Post Office Mike too is like the fans and the friends that I made on that thing. Like, dude, people are funny as shit too, and like a lot of cool shit is derived from that. People have gotten sober. Like, I'm in this group chat with these dudes from like all different states that are all like hilarious, and it's been going on for like 8 years at this point. We still, it's the fans are just really
Dope.
cool.
We got
too.
recognized at the Sixers game.
We got right. Yeah. Yes, we did. That's true. Yeah. And then I got
That felt weird.
I went to a dance or whatever with Sarah like way back in the day, and these two Temple kids randomly came up to me and they were like, "Post Office Mike." I
Yeah,
was like, "How do you know that?" And they're like, "Just found you on a hashtag." And
that's such a dude. It's such a good feeling.
it was a good feeling.
I
Yeah, it
remember.
was
I
cool.
remember like 2011 when I was doing stand up. Literally having people at parks when I was going to play poker be like, I had like this little group of people be like, "Dude, the guy from Helium, yo, you were hilarious," and I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"That's such a good feeling." Like getting recognized.
But it's cool how it evolved too, because I used a lot of the obviously.
Made me pride.
No, well, when you put
Pride hungry.
dude, when you're doing stand up to stand up there and actually work out stuff enough that it's
Yeah.
funny and that people recognize
yeah,
it and
no,
like it, it's
yeah,
the
right.
best feeling in the
Really
world.
funny
yeah.
when me and Emily saw you and you were like, I had heard you do the routine, but then hear you do it in front of people. Like it's you can hear your voice. Like you weren't like nervous, but like you can hear yourself like a little bit more like timing things, trying to time it correctly, trying to like give things space correctly. It was really funny to see you like
Yeah, no, dude,
your
it's that.
process of talking about it to friends to like convert.
Yeah, I remember experience. That was a cool experience. I remember going to your shows and like you were hashing out the bits or whatever prior, and it was cool to see. Like,
The hardest art form in the world. It
Yep.
definitely
Oh,
is
yeah.
because you get out there and the crowds are different. People react differently,
Yep.
and stuff that hits
so
on
many
one night
variables. Yeah,
all of a sudden doesn't hit, and then you got to try and transition, and you're like, oh, if that's not going to work, do I scrap? the whole thing?
transition.
Yeah, no, it's but I got to a certain point where I had a solid 5 minutes. I remember
Yep.
going to that. Dude, best thing ever was going to that open mic where it was meant for music, and everyone was just waiting.
Casey's Alley.
Everyone was waiting for music. Everyone wanted the music to come, and I got to be the last comedian, and I literally got the whole room
Actually,
to
dude,
shut up.
there was an earlier comedian who
There were
was
two,
just like
there were two other comedians
super
before me.
sexual.
It was
and-
all bad. It was
yeah.
all like way too much. He didn't have his
Yeah.
stuff planned out, and then I got up there and just did my stand up. And it got to the point because after I did my first joke, literally everyone just stopped actually talking. Because during their sets, during the other people's sets, everyone was talking and just speaking over each other. And then just have everyone pay attention and laugh and being like, oh, I've captured this room. This is amazing.
Such a good feeling.
Because they were all like, music, we want music. They were like, we got one last comedian. You could tell people being like, oh God. And then afterwards, people being like, that was really good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. But anyways, enough
Yeah.
reminiscing
I
of
will
that.
say one thing that I have to get off my chest, I guess, that I was thinking of before we go. It's so funny to see my daughter, Kelsey, and how she has the comedian, like, in her at such a young age. Like, you can see her look around the room and already, like, feed off people laughing. And now she likes to do this thing where she's literally making, like, deadpan jokes where, like we had our visit the other day, and she comes out of the door and she's like, who are you? Where do you work? Cutest thing, adorable, the most perfect thing ever. And if I were gone tonight, I'd be like, I still made the coolest thing ever, which is awesome. I love you, Kelsey, obviously. But just see her, like, she literally makes those, like, deadpan, like, jokes already. And I'm like, who? And then I go, who am I? And she knows I'm going to, and she's like, you're dad, dummy. And it's, like, so funny just to see that mechanism. Like, she might have a chance to being the first woman in history that has ever been funny. And I might have created that.
I think you're onto something.
That might have been, like, from a sperm cell in my ball sack.
You're entitled to compensation.
All right, and with that, everyone, we had a great show tonight. I think it went really well. We're actually going to have a show tomorrow night with Johnny, another person from the original Pro Stupid cast. Should be a good time. Make sure you follow us, like, subscribe.
Please
follow these guys. Please don't cancel us. We're just trying to be funny, have a good time. Yeah,
we meant all of this wholeheartedly with 100% of our.
We do it with love.
We're just idiots. None of us are super serious people. We're just
the
trying to get
retards.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's a reason.
You understand that.
Reason it's called Pro Stupid is because if you take it serious, you're the stupid one. All right, guys. Everyone have a good night. It's a good time.
Great time. Thank you.
God bless all.
So long.
Yeah, God bless everybody. Bueller.